Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we're going to be making an update to the tier list. We did have the GRF, so the first thing I do kind of want to do is go through, take a look at the results of the GRF, compare our pre-GRF tier list to that to see how accurate it was. Then obviously after that we've had our post-GRF ban list, which has gone into effect for tournaments. So we've had now a handful of tournaments with the post GRF ban list changes, but without the skill changes. It's kind of a little bit all over the place, but that's the plan. And then obviously we'll have when the skill changes go live, which I don't know when that is. Have the skill changes? I shouldn't, they haven't gone live yet. I don't remember when the actual date was. I mean, I have the technology. I can just go and take a look. But when they do go live, there we go. When does it change? It goes 9th of April? 9th of April. So we got another 2 days. And then we'll get the skill change, which is, I think it was just Royal Rebels, right? Just Royal Rebels get a buff, which will be exciting, because then we could see Royal Rebels at full power. We have already seen a human Portuguese dub fan doing quite well with them in tournaments pre-buff, which is, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Everyone loves to see that. But obviously we'll have that change. We should have a new box probably just after KC Cup, I would imagine, but it's really hard to predict. And then, you know, we'll have to do another update then. It's going to be a little bit all over the place. But I did want to do an update based on what we think has happened to Music Princess. I think it's going to be really difficult to place Music Princess, if we're being completely honest. I think Music Princess is going to be one of those decks where we're not really seeing it played a lot. And if it's not being played, we just have to kind of guess how low it's gone. Because I personally haven't, like, tested it a ton or anything like that. There's also, I mean, the big elephant in the room. Big elephant in the room. Speed Duel put out their new tier list. And the TPC, the Top Player Council, has basically deemed us to be in a tier 0 format, which is a shame because to anyone that watched my last stream, but before abruptly everything crashed and we were like, okay, well, that'll do for the stream, I suppose, I went into this latest box because there is a lot of stuff in there that I thought was pretty cool. I think the XYZ Dragon Cannon stuff's really cool. I like the Machina stuff. I do quite like Therians, but every time I try and jump back into Speed, it feels like it's like a tier 0 format or like a really awful format. And it's just a bit sad. It's a bit sad that is the case. We'll be talking about that a little bit more in depth. We also have Pokemon Champions, the new Switch/mobile game coming out soon. I have got my Switch already. I'm ready to play Champions on this bad boy, which I don't play on this very often. This is going to be like the first time I've touched it in a very long time. So we're going to be playing that probably tomorrow when we do get a chance. I did also want to talk about my experience in the Deckforge League, which was the latest Rush League, which I did commentate one game for. It was very, very exciting. I do want to kind of go a bit more in depth with that. Obviously, we can take a look at the Rush OCG reveals because that's what we do. I guess, first things first, we'll have a little yap with the chat. So, first, we have Darth Victor. Hello, Darth Victor. Welcome on in. We have Ninjetti Ursus. Hello, Ursus. Always a pleasure. We have Baj in the chat. Baj usually isn't here at this time. I'm going to assume that Baj is here because of, like, Easter stuff and having a bit more time off, possibly. But hello, Baj. Welcome. Always a pleasure. We have Monosync in the chat. Hello, Mono. We'll obviously do an exclamation mark Mono. We've got to give a shout out to one of the most well-respected members of the Rush community. Hello. We have Hikari in the chat as well, who we have already spoken to a little bit. We'll do an exclamation mark Hikari as well. Put Dark Galaxy into tier 0. I mean, that's not going to happen, but spoiler, my team did play Dark Galaxy in the Deckforge League Rush Survivor Cup, and we did get a win with it, which was very, very exciting. We're very, very happy with that. We have Slagar in the chat. Hello, Slagar. Welcome. Put Executives in tier 0. No. I mean, realistically, a tier list is always going to be somewhat biased, right? It's always going to be like my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions. I do try to base it in reality, though, so that's not going to be happening. We have Dr. Alex in the chat. Hello, Dr. Alex. I've returned. I do some stuff real fast. Hello, Isla. Welcome. How is everyone? I'm doing really well, Isla. Overall, I mean, I had a bit of a headache this morning, which is always bad when you're going to stream, because there's nothing worse than not feeling great, but still trying to, like, be energetic, be entertaining, you know, be on camera, right? If you've got a headache, you've got a stomach ache, if you're just like emotionally not there today, it's really rough to try and stream. But we took some pills and I feel completely fine right now. So I'm feeling excellent. So far, so good. We have Corey in the chat first. Not really, but hey. Hello, Corey. Welcome, welcome. Probably not be today because since finished Hollow. Re-Hollow Fragment. Re-Hollow Fragment is the Sword Art Online game, right? I haven't actually played that. I've heard of it, but I haven't played it myself. What Zelda music at the start? The Zelda music was the Gerudo theme. It was the Gerudo theme for Ocarina of Time. Execute and Rebels Tier 1. Next question. Hello, a human Portuguese dub fan. Welcome, welcome on in, my friend. They're the Casey Cup. We have VN Penguin in the chat. Hello, hello, VN Penguin. That's me. That's a weirdly big controller. Yeah, so I didn't actually get these. So basically, the issue with the Switch, you can have a look at my. Oh, look at that! You get a peek. That's my camera. That's the curtains. You get a peek behind the scenes. Anyway, Joy-Cons that come with the Switch are notoriously awful for stick drift. So all of the Joy-Cons that were with this have stick drift now. So these are the replacements. We have these big, meaty controllers for my ginormous man hands. Because it might not come across very well on stream, but I have enormous hands. Like, I actually have enormous... Like, let's get a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's not a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's a Vanguard card. That's a Pokemon card. Why don't I have any Yu-Gi-Oh cards on my desk? How have I managed to get rid of all of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards? There we go. It's a magical android. So, like, I have... I have very large hands. They're not, like, ridiculously big, but they are, you know, large hands. And because of that, whenever I use a Joy-Con, I feel like I'm touching something designed for a child's hands. And I'm like, I can't get comfortable holding it. So this is a lot better for me, specifically. He cutted his Pro Controller and glued it to a Switch. Exactly. It's the way it was designed. It was meant to. It's beautiful. What happened to the Sunday stream? I was in a different city visiting friends, Manicus. That is where I was. That's why there was no Sunday stream. I did say that on the Thursday stream, to be fair. I worked on Easter. Well, I salute you, Baj, for being an essential worker that works during bank holidays. We need your kind. Without you, the world would stop. Mono tournament was interesting. Top 8 with 7 different decks. And in the finale, Jointech won against Gradius. I mean, that's pretty cool. That sounds like a pretty fun one. Oh no, get well soon. I did a Zoom lecture yesterday while sick, but at least I'm not streaming. Yeah, a Zoom lecture is like kind of fine, because you could, for the most part, and like you can not have a camera on, not have your mic on, you can just kind of be chilling, right? Tier 0 KCC soon. Therian sucks. I don't even think, like... So, Therian is a problem. For me, the worst offender is, though, the 2 FTKs. There's the Therian FTK and the Destiny Hero FTK. And it's just like, why do these exist? How... I mean, I get it. You're not going to catch all of them. But some of them are so obvious that you should just get rid of them immediately, right? It's not that bad. It's big, but not that bad. You said that every stream last week. I think on the Sunday stream, I did say that I was going to be back on the following Sunday, but then I didn't. Certain Wednesday and took a discussion on Thursday. Some of us have a job and can't keep leaving to come back every 3 minutes, bro. I mean, that's a skill issue, Manicus. What can I say, right? You just got to work around it. You know, the VOD's there. You should just spend all of your free time catching up on what I've been doing, right? If you do that, then if your whole life could revolve around me, I think that would benefit both of us greatly. So one thing I will say, this Sunday, or the previous Sunday, I visited some friends. And I had a lovely time. So we had a get-together. Just a bunch of people got together. We played video games. We played board games. We played card games. So we played a decent amount of Magic the Gathering. Again, yeah, everyone who watches the stream should know I play Magic the Gathering, specifically Commander. Commander and Drafting are my 2 preferred ways to play that game. We played a handful of games of Magic. It was really, really fun. We also played a board game called Root. I don't know if anyone here will have heard of that, but basically it's a strategic turn-based territory game where you play as like woodland critters and you have to try and take over the forest and win in your own unique ways. And the thing that makes it really interesting is that it's a 4-player game. Typically 2 to 3 players play like your kind of build an army type game, and they like move pieces around and try and fight for dominance. And then 1 to 2 people in the game are kind of doing something vastly different. They're doing kind of a very strange game plan, and that's what adds some really interesting dynamic gameplay to that. Other than that, obviously video games were played. I think the primary games that were played was we played some Mario Kart and Lego Party, which is like a Mario Party clone, but Lego. And I had a ton of fun. Had a ton of fun playing that. Obviously, you know, we're all adults playing games all weekend, so we got some alcohol in, we got some pizza in, we got some takeout, and we had a great time. And that was my weekend. I had a fantastic time. So I hope you guys had a fantastic time as well. All right, let's catch up with the chat after that. Ball, Ra, or Golem second turn or red button? Yes, I've been very outspoken for a very long time. I hate Lava Golem. I hate Sphere Mode. But I also hate when players feel like they have to play them because people are making these ridiculously unbreakable boards, and the only way to deal with them is to tribute over their guys in a way that doesn't allow the opponent to respond, right? So I don't like that personally, but it is what it is, right? David's time it is. I literally get home to party lunch stream. I almost invested in speed because I had extra gems, but looking at the format, I don't think I will. I think that is a good decision to make, Vol. In fact, since we're talking about it, we'll head over and take a quick peek at it. So this is the tier list update. So tier 0, we don't see this very often. There's a lot of times where people like to be very hyperbolic because I think we live in a time of extremes, right? People are like, something is dead or something is peak. It is the greatest thing of all time. You either love something or you hate something, and every format is either a tier 0 format or it's garbage, right? Those seem to be the only things you can do these days. So a lot of people say formats are tier 0. Sometimes jokingly, sometimes like they genuinely sound like being serious, but either way, I think it's pretty safe to say we are in a tier 0 format. There was a video I saw by Icy, and I'll do an exclamation mark Icy even though he's not here because, you know, always got to shout out the boys if we're talking about their content. And during that video, he actually had clips from someone else. I think it was -1. And in that, it might have been -1, it might be someone else. But they specifically were like making their own tier list, and it was like Therian. Then it was, like, Destiny Hero. Then it was, like, Destiny Hero FTK. Then it was, like, Therian FTK. Then it was Eldritch. And it was just, like, all of these, like, decks in, like, different variations of these decks. And it was just like, oh, no. Oh, no. And this image up here perfectly encapsulates this format, right? We got the Therian Regulus. We have the Phoenix Enforcer. And we have Sphere Mode, which is so, like, ugh. It's so ugh. But it is what it is. What VODs? I see none on Wednesday. So all of our VODs, Badge, go on the VOD channel. So if you just Google Tomato Sauce VODs, you will find all of my VODs. They are all there. For the last 2.5 years, they have all lived there. To be fair, I have school class. Now I'm on pizza. I got older on Sunday. Oh, was it your birthday on Sunday? So that means that you have the same birthday as Crimson and my brother. Congratulations, Manicist. You are no longer in an exclusive club. You've now entered a birthday group. Congratulations on that. This Sunday or the Sunday coming, so it sounds like both. Hello, Mono. I almost planning to open the box for Therian, then XCs, but then I remembered I will fall asleep when playing Speed. The thing is, Speed has obviously just had a really interesting update with character duels. Now, I think you could make the argument that character duels is a completely different thing entirely, but it's still Speed, right? It's still, you know, 20 card to 30 card decks. Well, I guess it has to be 20 card in this case. It still has skills. It's still on Duel Links. It's still kind of anime. It's still kind of a side Speed format. But that's obviously doing really, really well. People are very, very excited about that. People are very, very happy with it. But obviously, it's now adjacent to a tier 0 Speed format that nobody seems very happy with. I think a lot of people have been saying this is like the worst Speed format we've had in a very, very long time, which is a bit sad. But it's going to happen, right? Mistakes are going to happen. We'll auto-correct at some point. We'll course-correct. I don't know if we're going to get, like, an emergency ban list. Personally, I would like to see an emergency ban list to deal with the FTK stuff. I don't think we need an emergency ban list just to kick Therian out of tier 0. I think that's fine. Therian can just be tier 0 for a KC Cup. It's not going to be, like, probably the most memorable or the most fun KC Cup. But I think it's not the end of the world. I do, however, not want to see FTKs running around. I think FTKs are what we make emergency ban lists for, so get that shit out of my game. That's what I think. But again, I'm a rush player, not a speed player. Speed is my casual fun format, so take what I say with a pinch of salt. I'm not an authority on the matter. I run through the speed box once, now saving for the rush deck build. I think going through the speed box once, I think, is a good shout. A lot of the stuff in there you don't need 3 copies of. Obviously, if you want to play the Therian deck at, like, maximum power, you're probably going to want 3 Regulus. If you want to play the XYZ deck, you're probably going to need 3, was it X Cross Cannon? I guess if you want to play Rika, you probably need 3 of the UR in there, but I mean, I don't know enough about Rika to be able to tell you that with any sort of authority. I would have tried to build Therian myself, just going off of aesthetics, but it's for sure getting hit, so low motivation. I will say, I think it is going to get hit. I don't know how it's going to get hit, right? Because usually they don't hit new decks until like 2 months after it's come out, right? At like the earliest. And they never hit box URs. So I assume Therian King Regulus is probably going to remain unhit for like the foreseeable future. And you're not going to hit like a lot of the rest of this stuff. We'll probably see a skill change at some point. That probably makes the most sense. And then like maybe you'll hit some of the generics, right? Like I think we're going to see a Droll hit. Possibly? I don't know. Droll is such a weird card. Droll is like sorted necessary in a lot of formats. But at the same time, it's currently enabling an FTK. But you could also just say get rid of the trap card that makes your opponent discard and draw a hand, right? You could just get rid of that instead. And that sort of fixes that anyway. So, I discussed with a few people yesterday, and we're just going to state we're taking a page from Rush and say second part of the skill has to be turn 2 onwards. This will nerf Therian, but it won't kill the deck completely. The thing is, I don't think we will see a skill change quickly, right? I think the earliest we'll see a skill change is maybe in like the post-KCC like ban list. I think what we could do is see an emergency ban list to hit some of the FTK stuff. So again, we could hit like the trap. I forget what it's called. It's like a campfire with a tent. I can't remember what it's called. Hello, Mila Nesso. Welcome in. Oh, woo. Wait, what tier 0? So we have Therian as tier 0. Therian is tier 0 right now, which is always a fun time. I've discussed ABC, and it's only 2 X-Cross. I mean, from what I've seen, some people are playing 3. I think it was Sean who was like playing the deck to like a decently high level. And I think he was always on 3. But I mean, again, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be the authority on this, right? Let's take a look at people that like did well with it, I guess. Meta Weekly, and let's take a look at a tournament player. Let's see what they're on. So it looks like they're on 3. This one's only on 1. So, I mean, depending on how you build the deck, maybe it can be fine. But from the players that I've seen, obviously now looking at that, 2 out of 3 players are playing 3 copies. So 3 copies does seem pretty fine. Regulus, 2 to 3 X-Cross. 1 Regulus, 2 to 3 X-Cross, 2 Princess. Oh, is Princess the Rika? The Rika card? I assume it is Rika. I always call it Rika. We should do an exclamation mark. Shui, since Shui has shown up. Welcome on in, Shui. Always a pleasure. All Tachyon Engine to 3. Well, Tachyon is a weird one. Because, like, really, the issue is, with these cards, is Dragluxion, right? Dragluxion is fundamentally the problem child. Now, we can hit Dragluxion. It's only an SR. We can absolutely hit this card. But where do we hit it to? Do we hit it to 1? Because you could also hit, like, some of the rest of the generic stuff. Like, you could put Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord to 1. So I believe that was also from a bundle. It's a tricky one. I'm not sure exactly what I would do. But again, I haven't got, like, the experience to really come up with anything, like, big there. How long did it take to hit the OG Tachyon? Quite a while. I think it took, like, 2 months, something like that. I remember it felt like it was around for a very long time. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Flexilo. Welcome. And also, if hit, it will be the Valinx and the Dragluxion. Which one's the Valinx? Which one's Valinx? Is Valinx one of the main deck ones? I'm just looking through the extra deck quick. Phalanx. Don't know what that is. We'll find it. We'll get there. This one. Valence World, Koenig was. I don't even know what this card is. When this card is activated, place one Valence field spell from your deck facing your opponent's field zone. If there are exactly 2 cards of field zones, the turn player cannot target one effect monster with the opponent's main monster zone. The same column as one of the monsters they control. Place that. Okay, so this is like an annoying floodgate by the look of it. And then this one as well. If there are 2 cards of the field zones, the player can target one. The turn player can target one monster in their own spell and trap zone, special summon it. Oh. And then there's this one as well. Jesus, I didn't even realize any of these cards were things. Interesting. Droll is toxic. It's just like FTKs. So Droll is an answer to people that will consistently search their deck like a shit ton of times during a turn, which sometimes is really annoying, and sometimes Droll ends up doing nothing. It's really weird. It's sort of like in Rush, we have Tax, right? Tax in Rush is so annoying. It is the most annoying thing in the world. But if we didn't have Tax, people would just play Deep Draw every single get. Well, not every deck suits Deep Draw, but there are a lot of decks that do Deep Draw. And like you say, having a way to punish that is good, because otherwise you could just end up like plus, and be able to like do a ridiculous amount of stuff. Like it's an awkward situation that I see for it anyway. They keep designing skills in an interesting way to be better going second by needing the opponent to control monsters and then seemingly forgetting that Tachyon stuff exists. Yes. Right, we are in an ad break, so we'll just wait for the ad break to disappear. Five seconds. Welcome back from the ad break. No, I don't see Tachyon engine going to 1. It will be Dragluxian to 1. I mean, did anyone say that the Tachyon engine was going to go to 1? Did anyone say that? I think someone said all Tachyon engine to 3. I don't think anyone said anything about them go to 1. Do you think there's a ban list for Rush? Do you think there's a ban list for Rush? I mean, there was a ban list a little while ago. I don't think we're going to get a huge... Post KC, they might do a small hits, right? They might decide, like, oh, maybe we need to hit Hero a little bit. I doubt it, to be honest. Because then it will lose 2 cards immediately, because Titanic is already at 1. OG Tachyon took till a second KC Cup field spell. Dragluxian to 2. I mean, Dragluxian to 2 would be an interesting hit, because it would then immediately conflict with Transmigration and nothing else. Actually, so it would do nothing. It would actually just do nothing if we put that to 2. Unless you make something else to 2 as well. Do you see why... you see why it should be hit? Well, yeah, I mean, everyone knows Dragluxian is, like, the most broken card in the game right now, right? Like, I don't think that's a big revelation here. Limit Dragluxian. I think we could put Dragluxian to 1, and then all the decks that are abusing it also get limit 1, or just, like, straight ban it. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit, like, heavy-handed, but that's kind of how I feel. The decks that search a lot to warrant using Droll should be hit too. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? I think Droll is a very easy, like, oh, well, this keeps those decks that search a lot in check, so we don't have to do anything else. Instead of doing, like, a very heavy ban list. But it's awkward. It's very awkward. All agreeing to limit Dragluxian to 1, Field Spell to 1, Blue Eyes Trap to 1. And turn 2 on the Therian skill. I mean... Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that if you're discussing this with a group of like-minded people, you've just got to be worried of an echo chamber. And it's the same thing that can happen in a stream like this as well, where a lot of people will be drawn to the stream because they tend to share my opinions, or because they love to hate me. One of the two. Either way. You do want to be worried about, like, having, like, yes men, effectively, and then ending up, again, in an echo chamber and not really getting, like, the full picture. So I do try to keep in mind, but it's going to happen, right? It's just something that's going to happen. Stopping both evils, Madge. I mean, yeah, it's the floodgate argument, right? People are like, we need floodgates because deck's too strong. And then it's like, well, we made the decks too strong. So Konami has made an error in making decks too strong, and then made an error in giving us floodgates to try and correct the first error, and now no one's happy. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Like, just make the game better. I don't know what... Yeah, it's hard. Could I, like, fix the speed format on my own? Probably not, right? I do not have the experience. I'm sure there are some players that believe that they could fix the format on their own. Personally, the only people I would like to see give it a go would be people like the players in the Top Player Council, which are consistently performing very, very well. People that play the game in absolute ton. They know the nitty-gritty. They know all the little intricate matchups and the differences between the decks and everything, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Is that Apple Tree in the chat? Damn, if only there was a free way to subscribe to get no ads. Oh, everyone loves the, what's it called? Prime? Amazon Prime. Everyone loves Prime. Everyone loves Prime. Yes, unlimit list. You wanna just unlimit a load of things? I mean, that would be cool. That would be cool. Unhit engage. No. In fact, I think we need to hit Sky Striker harder. Not because I think the deck needs to be hit, but because it would annoy so many players, because there are so many Sky Striker players. And every Sky Striker player needs to let you know that they play Sky Striker. So I think hitting their deck would just be funny. Blue Eyes Trap was limit 1, and the thing with that being unlimit made 0 sense. Konami, like, we need to unlimit this because no one could play it. That doesn't help you, then you can make a broken board. Why though Blue Eyes is not even tier? I mean, Blue Eyes was doing quite well recently, right? But it has kind of fallen off, right? But then again, if we take a look at the tier list again, like, the tier list has just had a massive change, right? I think it was basically before the Gimmick Puppet and Punk stuff came out. I think Blue Eyes was a tiered deck, and then Shadow obviously got their buff as well. Attacking energy we need, otherwise I wouldn't. Hello, Globe as well. Welcome, welcome. Went in limit, that had already been. Corey subscribed with Prime. Thank you, Corey. Always a pleasure. Always do appreciate when people do support the stream. Thank you, thank you.
Kuma 666 just subscribed with Prime. Make Rush great again.
We always got to make Rush great again. Murga. Oh god, a hype train. The noise is so loud. But thank you again. Let's try and catch up. Okay, you're talking about hitting Tachyon, hitting Blue Eyes makes no sense. Exactly, Konami, give us an actually good Rush ban list and more skill changes, please. It's always sad, just funny seeing them buff 1 or 2 skills when it could be 10 plus instead. The thing is, and this is like, I feel a bit like a broken record because I repeat myself a lot, but again, there's going to be people coming in and out of the stream. Some people don't catch every stream, so I think it is important to reiterate points. The ban list they did was almost exactly what I imagined they would do based on my predictions, right? Because we put out the prediction video, I predicted basically what they did and then just Miracle Fusion to 1. The reason why is kind of obvious, right? If they had done more hits, then it would have just been Red Eye's best deck, right? And just, we all know, like, as a collective, we understand Red Eyes was not going to get hit this early after having just come out. It would have been nice to see the Red Eyes Legend get limit 1, but I think that's a big brain hit, and I don't think Konami were going to do that, let's be perfectly honest. So then it comes back to, like, should we buff more old skills for the health of the game, for the individual player that likes to play a variety of different decks, for the fun, the cooks of the world? Buffing old skills, fantastic, we want that. For Konami, I don't think they give a shit. They don't care about buffing old skills unless they're releasing new cards for those decks. If they're planning to give us new stuff, sure. The incentive is people will go into that box, they will spend money, or they will engage with it. And then people will play it. But they have no incentive to buff older skills unless they're selling more cards. They just don't. So it's a shame, but that's just something we've come to expect, right? Like, the fact that they have just buffed the Red Eye skill, I mean, everyone's on the same page, right? We're getting, not Red Eyes, the Royal Rebels. The R was stuck in my head. So the fact that we've just buffed the Royal Rebel skill, everyone knows at some point we're about to get some new Royal Rebel cards. Now, it could be in the next deck build. It could be in May. It could just be part of that box. But the point is, I think everyone's on the same page. We're getting something new for that deck. It is happening. Now, it could also, again, just be like one card in the trader or something, right? They could do whatever they want. But we all know we're getting something. We're getting something. Alright, let's try and catch up again. Once again, I'm glad the balanced team are not entirely handled by its player base. Yeah, it would be really funny if they released a mode where you could vote to, like, ban cards. Just have it as, like, a weekend event, and, like, every half an hour, the most voted card gets banned. And then the meta is, like, constantly changing. I think that would be a really, really funny idea for an event. It would be a logistical nightmare, and people would absolutely try and game the system, but it would be so much fun. It would be such a crazy weekend, right? I would love that so much. It's both, they can't use the XCs because they shouldn't have it. Be able to use it, it's the same argument, because even if we hit Dragluxion, then they can still use it. Hello, Null Poof, welcome. Hello, Tomato, are you going to play Pokemon Champions? Do you know if it comes out for Android, iOS as well? Yes! So, first things first, I have my Switch ready. So this has to be docked, though, because I'm borrowing a capture card. Because we're going to see how we like it and if we don't. So I'm actually playing with this. This is my gamepad of choice for Pokemon Champions, initially on Switch. The problem is, the D-pad, one of the buttons on the D-pad just doesn't work. So, if you need to play the Pokemon Champions with a D-pad, I'm going to be in a bit of an awkward situation, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But, if we jump over here briefly, so we can just quickly take a quick gander, we did get this. So, according to the Pokemon Korea website, Pokemon Champions for mobile launches in June. So, according to this image, I can't read Korean, but this says 4, 8, and 6. So I'm going to assume that this 6 means June. And then the 4 and the 8 means either the 4th or the 8th of June. But I'm just guessing. I could run this through an image translate. I'm not going to. That is the information I have for you. Apparently, it is going to be coming out in June as leaked by Pokemon Korea. So thank you, Pokemon Korea. We do appreciate you. Mobile in the future. The Puyo song. Always the Puyo song. Always the Puyo song. You're supposed to allow more decks to be in the meta, but that's just the nature of how bad generic cards are in Yu-Gi-Oh! Hitting the traps makes zero sense. You're supposed to hit the generic cards. I mean, kind of. I think there's a balancing act there, and it depends on what their objective is with a ban list, right? The issue that I've had, if we go and take a look at, for example, where is a Bismuth post? I'm looking for a Bismuth post. There'll be one in here somewhere. We'll find one. Meta snapshot. Here we go. This is what I like to see, right? Not necessarily like only one deck at per, only 2 decks here. I like the amount of decks that we're seeing in speed. I think this is really cool. I would love it if Rush got to this stage. Again, ideally not like only one deck in tier 1, only 2 decks, you know, performance-wise. Number 1 in performance, number 2 in performance. I don't want to call them tiers. But just the sheer variety is so cool. Now, obviously, there's a lot less Rush tournaments, but even so, just compare these numbers. Like, it's not even comparable, right? I would love it personally if Rush could get to the stage where enough decks are viable and, like, actually tournament viable, where they actually stand a chance of winning the entire thing, as Speed does. The problem is, because we're going into a tier 0 Speed format, this is probably going to drastically shrink. Like, probably drastically shrink, I would imagine. When are we getting the next update, by the way, from Bismarck? That should be on... Is that Saturday? Sunday? I think it's on Sundays. But yeah, that's what I would like. I think for me, personally, playing a TCG, the more variety, the better. And I think a lot of people echo that statement. Could be a character level increase? Absolutely could be. Absolutely could be. Most likely Fallout and its fusion, but that's only cards indicating the Royal Rebel change, but I doubt Royal Rebel will even play those at all. Yes. I mean, chances are, yeah. Similar to when Cyburst got their skill change and then no one did anything with them. I imagine it will be something similar. And again, we did predict that in our predictions as well, right? No, because Nexus Reigns. It should be... I should do one, but for Rush in a tournament form, player-based ban list. I mean, that would be fun. So, there was... I mean, everyone here should know Farfa, right? Everyone should know Farfa. He's, like, the biggest streamer? I'm pretty sure Farfa's the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh! Streamer, right? There might be someone above. Either way. He did his, like, Table 500 stuff. Or, no, wasn't the Table 500, it was like the ban list tournament or whatever, where basically everything that like tops in a tournament gets banned. And then they go on to the next tournament until everyone's just playing absolutely dogshit decks. Not DK'd? Absolutely not DK'd. Absolutely not DK'd. But I think the idea of that is fun. The problem is, the more gimmicky you make a tournament, and the more confusing it is, the less people will participate. A good example of that is they did the... Oh god, what was the event called? The, like, anime tournament that they do. They do them all the time for speed. They very rarely do them for rush. And the idea was, like, you have a very limited pool, and they limit the number of skills that you're allowed. Basically, the more confusing and the more rules that you put in a tournament, the less interest you will have in that tournament. People end up being like, oh, I'm interested to see how that goes. And then, like, 6 people sign up. So it can get, like, a bit awkward in that kind of situation. But I think it'll be fun. I love alternate formats, personally. You say next like they have a plan. I mean, they probably have some sort of plan, right? Normally go strat, and it's still going. Doesn't the 4.8 mean it's coming out April 4th? I mean, again, I don't read Korean, but the fact that they have posted it like that. I mean, I'll tell you what. We'll break it down. We'll break it down. So I will open a new tab. I'll copy this. We'll go to Google Translate. We'll go over here. We'll go images. Don't think that matters too much. I need to copy it. That's right. This is the other one. We'll get there. Right. We will copy this. Paste from clipboard. Bam. Here we go. Nintendo Switch version April 8th, 2016. Smartphone version June. Oh, there we go. There you go. We have come full circle. We now understand. So Nintendo Switch version April 8th. Smartphone in June. We don't know when in June. Just in June. That's the information we have. We've got there. We've got there. But hello, MF Hum. Welcome, welcome. And level 40 always goes in order. Vrains isn't at 40. A Rush can have more decks in Bismuth Snapshot, but we're having less tournaments. That's it. Kind of. Because the thing is, right, if we go and take a look at our tournaments currently, right, this is how many we're getting in top 8. If we cut that out and just do top 4, which is what Bismuth does, it used to be, I think, top 1, then it became top 2, now it's top 4. It still cuts off here. So we still only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decks, right? Which 8 is like, it's not bad, but it's not bad for Rush, right? Whereas if we look at the speed equivalent, that's getting like nearly 20, right? So it's just like, I still don't think it's really comparable. Is Rush healing? The thing is, Rush is in a weird spot where Rush hasn't been in like a bad situation in a long time. Like, this is fine. Look at like this pie chart, that looks fine. If we look at the current pie chart, this is kind of fine. Like, this isn't bad. If we look at the last one, like, this is worse, obviously, but this is just a lot more data, but this is still fine. Like, 3 decks being your best decks, that's kind of what you want. It's if you only have 2 or 1 that's absolutely dwarfing everything, that's when you're like, okay, the meta's in kind of a rough spot. Again, that's fine. That's fine. Here we go. This is where you start getting like, wait a minute, guys. This doesn't look fine anymore. This looks a bit yikes. So, like, it depends on what you want from a format. But for me specifically, I think this is where you have a problem. The problem that you actually get is people get bored of a meta because they're like, okay, the meta is like semi-diverse, but X deck has been around for way too long. I think right now that deck is Hero. Hero has been around for so long, but it hasn't been like showing competitive prowess openly for a long time. Like, before this GRF happened, no one was really playing Hero. But, you know, the players that knew, right, the players that were actively testing the background, the players that were actively, you know, the strong players, knew Hero was a really good deck, even though it wasn't getting tournament results, right? If the normal way of live things would have gone, I'd agree with you, but Manicus, but we got 35 for Go Rush, so not happening normal time, and Vrains didn't happen in December. I mean, I don't really follow it personally, but... going to remove the ban list from Tournament 1 after Tournament 2 is completed, assuming they're banning cards in the winning list. So the logic was, if we're talking about the Father thing, it would just made the ban list bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you had to play dogshit strategies. That's how that worked. Hello, Dwan. Welcome, welcome. 8 is really not that bad for Snapshot, but that's Duel Link's card pool's fault, to be honest. I disagree. I think more than that, it comes down to balancing. Because for the most part, you could have as many decks as you wanted. Every single deck that is available to be played in Rush could, if Konami wanted them to, they could just keep buffing the bad ones and releasing more until everything is tournament viable, right? Now, there will still be outliers, right? Some decks will always be the best decks. But if they really wanted to, they could make, like, 20 Rush decks, like, meta viable. They absolutely could do that. They choose not to because it doesn't benefit them. The difference is that Speed has so many decks, and the decks can perform it in so many different and interesting ways. There's a lot more interesting, like, deck building opportunities there, and decks have a lot more interesting matchup spread because of how more, I would say, like, depth the cards have to them, because you can use them in lots of different ways. Some decks are vulnerable to some things, some decks are vulnerable to others. Rush, being a lot more of a simple game, doesn't have the same sort of intricacies in the matchups, which I don't think, again, that's not me saying, like, oh, Rush bad, right? Yeah, you guys should know I love Rush, right? But I think because of the way that Rush is, it makes it more difficult to have, like, specific type matchups go one way or the other. And I think it's more difficult to have these, like, weird strategies that can come out and be really good into some of the field, but really bad into the rest of the field. It still happens occasionally. I just don't think it happens as much as it does in Speed, right? Yellow button, of course. Yeah, yellow button is obviously going to be the big decider, because the yellow buttons can be designed in any way Konami wants to design them. They can make them as overpowered or as underpowered as they want, which is why whenever a bad skill has come out and really stopped a deck from doing well, you know that is on purpose, right? Konami have decided that's how they want that deck to perform, which is a bit of a shame. See, I told you before GRF that high tech feels better than Aqua, and people didn't want to believe me. I mean, you were right. I mean, if we take a look here, we can see Dwan's post himself. We can see that Aqua did underperform. And for me, I mean, if we take a look at the old tier list that we made, this was what we came up with. So for us, we did have Aqua just above high tech. To be fair, these are next to each other. And I mean, if we take a look at how they ended up performing, they were sort of next to each other. Aqua ended up being like, if we were to like do this based on results, this would probably be here. And like, maybe you could bump these two up, right? But for the most part, I think it was still, like, relatively accurate. I mean, we had Music Princess being the best performing deck. It was, I mean, second best performing, but I think realistically, if we were to evaluate performance, you would have to give a stat weight based on your position, which I'm not going to do. That is way too much effort for me to bother doing. But basically, like, you know, the deck that came first would be awarded more points because it placed higher than the deck that came 100, rather than both being worth 1 point each, right? So all we're going to do is look at representation, because I can't be asked to do anything else. But representation-wise, Music Princess was up there, Red Eyes was up there. Obviously, we had those as our top two. Then Hero, High Tech, Bam Bam. Again, the outlier for us, really, was Aqua. But Gradius, which, again, 4 pure 2D linker. And then everything else was kind of in our down here tier. The only one that got in there that we didn't really predict was going to was the V-Friend, right? V-Friend, we absolutely did not think we were going to see a top 100, but we did end up getting one. Thank you for the follow, Crimcloud. Welcome, welcome. I believe you, Aqua is Resident Sleeper. There's a lot of decks in the meta, but unfortunately all of them feel really bad and lose against, since you probably got OTK'd, even when in full life points. So my response to that would be, if there are a lot of decks in the meta, but they're not winning and they're getting OTK'd because they're not good enough, are they actually in the meta? Are they not just decks people are playing, even though they're not really meta viable, right? It's an interesting discussion to have, because I think there's an argument for both sides. I think you could make an argument, yes, this deck is good enough, but it has a horrible matchup spread into the current meta, therefore it's still in the meta, but it's really far down. Or you could say, well, if it can't beat the meta, then it's not meta, right? It's like I said, it's an interesting discussion to have. OCG Rush can easily reach 10 plus decks every pack release. Exactly. They absolutely can. That is why I absolutely adore OCG Rush. It is so much fun, and I want more tournaments to come back. I really need to sign up to Ragnarok. The issue I have with Ragnarok is I keep forgetting that they're doing events, and I keep forgetting to sign up. So I really would like to get back into playing more OCG Rush events, because it is so much fun. I want to play Spark Hearts again. I want to play the Ultimate Flag deck, because that deck was also so much fun. There are so many decks that I love to play in OCG. The only downside is there are also a bunch of decks I don't care about. I don't care about Monarchs. I don't care about Defiant Soul Necromaid, like, as a combined deck. I like both of those decks individually, but combining together just doesn't... I don't know, there's something in my brain that just, like, it doesn't generate fun when I see those decks together, which is a shame, because I would like to like them, but I don't. If only there was an easy way to find OCG duels. If only there was a weekly tournament that I got to play in most weeks. I mean, to be fair, I am part of the problem, because there are some weeks I just can't play in those tournaments, which is a big shame. It is a big shame. Sad reality of PvP card games, fun and profits are not aligned. Exactly. I mean, sometimes they are, and we call that a Christmas miracle, but until then... to this day, the plant skill makes me very angry. How TF can you get that shite backwards? Yes. Did you even read your cards, Konami? How are you doing today? I'm doing very well, Crimcloud. Welcome, welcome. We're still in the ranty yappy bit of the stream, which, to be fair, is probably going to be most of the stream. But we will be developing the conversations into something a bit more structured as we go. We just have tangents. That's kind of what we do here. But hello. Hope you're having a good day as well. They can literally make Duel Links more fun by making Yellow Button more interesting, like making a skill for Insect Knight. A skill for Insect Knight? I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I think skills have so much potential. And, to Konami's credit, skills have been used in the past to great effect to really elevate a deck and make something that would be unplayable dogshit actually fun. The problem is, there have been more times that they've done it. Well, it's not even more times. There have been more times that people remember, because this is the other thing. You'll always remember the bad more than you'll remember the good. There have been more mess-ups that people remember, and like sticks in their mind. And because of that, it makes Yellow Button feel really annoying. Because a lot of the time, if there's like a problem deck, it's very easy to point at the Yellow Button, because the Yellow Button is what's kind of caused the issue, right? Most of the time, it's not the actual deck itself. I think the exception to that is like Heroes. I think Heroes is a deck that a lot of people are getting a little bit fed up with. And the problem with Heroes is not the Yellow Button. The problem with Heroes is Miracle Fusion is really, really good. But more than that, it's Shining Flare Wingman. Shining Flare Wingman is just really good. And if you're able to make 2 Shining Flare Wingmans, that's really good. And it's really hard to counter that unless you have exactly what you need ahead of time. And even if you have exactly what you need ahead of time, they can also play Avian Spell Tactics, and they can ahead of time, a lot of the time, go into Burst Wingman to try and get rid of your trap cards so that Shining Flare can come in unimpeded, right? So that's one of the, I would argue, rare instances where the Yellow Button isn't doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I think it just is exactly what the deck needs to be the enabler. And in a similar way, I would make the argument that the Red Eyes deck is basically the same, where the Red Eyes power isn't necessarily in the skill. The skill does a lot for the deck, it's really, really helpful, it helps them get there, but all of the actual explosive plays come from the cards themselves, right? Waste of potential for a game like this, they can do something what physical card games can't do, and they still failed. Well, it's similar to Hearthstone. Hearthstone went, what can we do that you can't do physically? And they went, all right, we're going to have a lot of randomness, a lot of dice rolls, because it's quite easy, and randomize it in a way that you couldn't easily do tabletop, as well as like a lot of like card spawning. And both of those are like, they're interesting, but I don't know. I'm not convinced they were like super healthy for the game personally. Again, I really liked Hearthstone when it came out. Like I got to Legend, I really enjoyed playing that game. But the more it went on, it felt like the less competitive it got. And that, to me, really takes the wins out of sales. As well as I hated their free-to-play options. Trying to like keep up with their daily quests was awful. I really did not like it. Really did not like it. I literally got the same problem as you for Ragnarok. Yeah, it's really fun. The Ragnarok guys are lovely. I think, you know, Ragnarok is a fantastic Discord server. Fantastic community. I just forget to play in them. That is my big issue. High Tech, what's the most toxic meta deck in your opinion? Ooh, right now. Right now. Right, from my perspective, it's high tech. But that is with a lot of caveats. I think most people would probably say hero. The reason I don't think hero is toxic is because, again, their skill isn't anything too crazy. And they do have to have a lot of setup to actually kill you. The problem is, if hero just gets lucky, that deck is disgusting, right? If you just go like, Cirque, Pot of Greed, full combo, double Shining Flare, GG, that's disgusting, right? But it's that bit of hero that I don't like. And I think that is a very fixable part of hero. I think you could, if we were allowed to change the deck however we wanted, just put Shining Flare to 1. Now you can't do a double Shining Flare play. That immediately alleviates a lot of the problems. The downside is, hero is the best counter at the moment to Aqua. If we were to, for example, nerf every other deck, we just nerfed this. This has just been nerfed. If we nerfed this, and this, and this deck would suddenly feel very, very strong. And the best counter to this is going to be the hero deck, because no matter how much they heal, you can still kill them. And that only works because you can kind of do like a double Shining Flare play. So it's a weird... Like I say, it's a balancing act. If we nerf something, something else goes up. So it's like, do we nerf absolutely everything to keep everything down? It's tricky. I personally don't like high tech because the deck, if played correctly, should just kill your opponent. It's an OTK deck through and through. This deck doesn't have to, like Heroes, doesn't have to play as an OTK strategy. It can OTK, but it's not an OTK deck. In the same way, Red Eyes can OTK, it's not an OTK deck. Music Princess could OTK, doesn't mean it's an OTK deck. This is an OTK deck. If this deck isn't OTKing you, it feels like it's having a real bad time. All it wants to do is kill you in one turn. If it's not doing that, it's like, well, my backup plan's kind of a bit crap. So that's how I feel about it personally. Alright, let's try and catch back up with chat. High tech personally, yeah, I agree with that. Hi, mostly playing speed. Is the current box a good way to get into Rush, or would you recommend to wait for a future set? So we should have a future set very shortly. That'll be a deck build box. That's probably going to come out in the next couple of weeks. That, though, because it's a deck build box, will only have 6 brand new cards and a bunch of reprints. Now, reprints are fantastic if you want to get into the game. What I would recommend personally, if I was... Right, I'm a new player. I want to get into Rush. I would make a new Duel Links account, personally. If you don't want to make a new account, that's fine. The whole point of making a new account, though, is to not have to split gems between both formats, right? I would try and save up gems so that I've got 9,999 gems. That should take around a month. Usually in about a month of gameplay, you'll get 9,999. Then I would wait for the next big mini box product. Now for us, that should be in May. May should be a massive box. It should give us... We should get a lot of product. Usually we'll get a structure deck. Usually we'd get a mini box. If we get both of those things, they should also be quite high power level because historically, the last 2 years, May has been the box that gets us ready for the World Championship qualifier. Because it's the World Championship qualifier box, it generally has a lot of really strong stuff in it because that's the stuff they want you to use in the World Championship qualifier and then extending past that at Worlds. So assuming they don't break that trend, the May box should be a fantastic place to jump in. But we're making a lot of assumptions there, right? We're trying to follow patterns and trends of the past. They don't necessarily have to follow them, but that would be what I would personally do. Wait for a future set. I mean, yeah, basically that's what I would do. The new box is pretty good. Red Eyes is a good deck, but you need to open another box of missing cards. Yeah, which is a lot of the time a big turn-off for a lot of players. Light Galaxy will get a structure deck in May. I mean, that again, that is our assumption. We don't know that they're getting one in May. We're just assuming they will. I think you should wait for it, plus the box support, and see if it becomes a good cheap deck like Sevens last year. Yeah, Sevens came out last year, and it was basically the best free-to-play deck for, what, 9 months? I think it was like just the best free-to-play option, which is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous that it stuck around for that long and had that kind of longevity. People were cogging with it every month for like 9 months, and it still sees a lot of play on ladder to this day. I hate randomized effects in card games. Yeah, I'm not a biggest fan. They really tick me off from Shadowverse. Yes. The way I look at it is, the way that you make a card game feel very rewarding is if you enable players to be able to outplay your opponents. I think the more randomness you put in a game, the more it appeals to casuals, because it will try to even out the win rate a bit more. Whereas the less randomness you have, the more players who appreciate, you know, skill expression should be able to come out on top. That's not a hard and fast rule, right? Because sometimes that's not the case, but that's generally how things should go, right? Sounds good. I guess I'll wait. Red Eyes looks kind of boring to play. Might be wrong on that. Red Eyes is very fun, but it is very one-dimensional. It depends on what your idea of fun is. For me, I like the idea that Red Eyes gives you a ton of advantage. For me, my ideal playstyle is drawing lots of cards, filtering through my deck, being able to find my combo pieces, and then executing a good combo. In that way, I think Red Eyes is really cool. The really kind of, I don't want to call it like the boring aspect of Red Eyes, but it's a normal monster deck, which means your monsters sometimes are just kind of not doing much other than just Unga Bunga attack, which is not the most interesting for me. But it does give you peace of mind of knowing that you can just kill people through Shady, which is nice. Like, it is nice. Wait till you're not in rush. Oh, should wait if you're not in rush. I see. There we go. We got there in the end. I like Legends of Runeterra more. It felt way more free to play. But over the years, it kind of died down. I played Legends of Runeterra on launch. I played an Elise Shadowlands, Darklands, Shadow Isles. I played an Elise Shadow Isles deck. I went 50-0 in ranked, and I like barely got into like gold. And I was just like, it takes so long to rank up in this game, even though I'm winning every single game. And it really, like, burnt me out of, like, I feel like I'm not making the progress I want to be making after just winning and winning and winning and winning. And that frustrated me, so I ended up dropping the game. So, I don't know. I've, like, mixed feelings on that, mixed opinions on that game. Because, on one hand, I think it's really cool. I really liked, like, League of Legends for a long time in my youth. I really enjoyed, like, the world. I thought some of the mechanics in that game were really interesting as well, because one of my friends got into it and they were telling me about Nautilus had a mechanic. I can't remember what the mechanic was called, but it was like you want to like bury cards into the graveyard, and the number of cards in your graveyard gave him like additional effects. And I was like, that's a really cool mechanic. That's really, people should steal that mechanic and use that in other games. That's lovely. But I just didn't really get into it personally. Not gonna lie, whenever I see Rush OCG event, I always get deterred when I see they aren't using pre-release. Now, I kind of don't actually think, oh, you haven't checked for an event. Like I get they want to play OCG meta, but I want to play with new stuff, like 90% of people. The problem there is, I get what you're saying, but people want to play how they want to play. It's exactly the same thing happens in Duel Links. If a new box comes out, ideally you want to play new box stuff against new box stuff because that's exciting, that's fun, that's interesting. But there will always be people playing the best deck from the previous meta, and they're quote-unquote tryharding. You can't begrudge them for doing that, but you just have to understand that they're going to be doing that, right? There's nothing you can do about that. That's just people, right? But fundamentally, what you're saying is you don't like that some people in the community don't want to play the same way that you want to play, which I get, but that's just how it be, right? I love it when dueling the Vagabond, it gives you the worst hand imaginable, and it gives them the perfect hand. Oh yeah, all the time. Deck build box. Hi, hello PTRG. Yeah, it's going to be a deck. We know it's going to be a deck build. It's always going to be a deck build. We're going to get a selection box in May. I can smell it. Please, God, no. Stop giving selection boxes. I hate selection boxes. Get that shit out of my game. Royal Rebel now has a Light Fiend extra deck lock. Finally, Rush Fiendsmith on the deck build. Imagine. Yeah, they changed a bunch of stuff later on, which made it easier and more fun. Also, different modes, story mode, events, etc. Yeah, but at that point, I'd already had a first impression of the game, so I just never got back into it, right? That's the issue that I have with it anyway. Anyway, Therian tier 0. Crazy. Insane. Destiny Heroes, also tier 0. Has an FTK. The funniest part is, these have completely different FTKs. So do we have the FTK cards in here? It looks like the FTK isn't here, right? Because the FTK... Are any of these going to be using the FTK? This thing. Here we go. So the FTK is... you go into... You do your little combo. You ideally get out a Regulus. you summon out Summoner Monk. You can use Summoner Monk to go into Armageddon Knight. Armageddon Knight sends Phantom Knights to Silent Boots. You then overlay into Raiders Knight. Raiders Knight then goes into... Oh god, which one is it? Is it Raiders Knight goes into Raid Raptor Revolution Falcon Air Raid? Then you burn your opponent for 15 after giving them your Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal. Then you go into Raid Raptor Fiend Eagle by using your, like, rank up card. Burn them for another 15. And then you end up going into Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max and burning them for another 1,000. So you just do 4,000 burn damage on turn 1. Which is just like... Ugh. Ugh. Skull Eagle? Is it Fiend Eagle? Did it have a different name in the other one? But either way, it's like... Gross. And then if we go and take a look at Destiny Heroes, I'm sure we'll find a Destiny Hero OTK list with this thing, the bloody Disturbance Strategy. Let's try and find an FTK. That's not an FTK because it doesn't have the trap card. Let's see if we can find one. That's not... That looks like a really scummy list, though. That's... Oh, okay, Mischief of the Gnomes has just made its way into some of these lists. Is Mask of Restrict hanging out, literally to stop your opponent from using Sphere Mode. That's really funny. Is there not as many... Here we go, here's the FTK. So the strategy with this one is you just kind of filter through your deck so your deck's got almost nothing in it. Then you make your opponent draw a card with... What's the card that makes your opponent draw? Is it Denier? There's a card that makes your opponent draw a card. I forget which one it is. Is it Increase? Is it... Oh, it's Draw Hand. It's Draw Hand, right? Yeah. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a hero monster, you can make each player draw a card. So you make each player draw a card. Then you activate... Where's Droll? You activate Droll. So now your opponent's drolled, like, before they've even done anything. And then you activate Disturbance Strategy. And then they just lose their entire hand. So they just don't have a hand. They get to play with no hand. And it's just like... Lamau, can you do anything with no hand? And it's just... It's dumb. It's dumb. And there's the fact that there are two completely different FTKs in the game is crazy. Because technically this doesn't FTK them, right? But you basically say, your turn 2, you can't do anything. Right? It's actually crazy. Actually crazy. Always like that with the Vagabond? Exactly. Raiders Knight makes Fiend Eagle, then discard rank up to make Air Raid, Disturbance Strategy, Draw Hand. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For the Nautilus card, yeah, that had a mechanic called Deep. Where you had 15 or less cards in your deck, you become Deep, and all cards with the Deep keyword get +4/+4 and stats. Yeah, they did something similar in the original Shadowverse, where I think it was Blood had a mechanic where if you were on 10 or less life, you were like in a certain mode, and all your cards could do extra stuff, and I think that's really, really cool. Full Infernity combo Pog. You activate Draw Hand, then in a new chain, chaining 1 Disturbance Strategy, chaining 2 Draw. There you go. Hello, Icy. We were just talking about you. We'll do another Icy shout. We already gave you a shout earlier, but we'll do another one. We were talking about you earlier, Icy, because we were talking about... I watched your videos on the FTKs, so I could better understand the FTKs. So I got to watch through it and see the Disturbance Strategy FTK and the... Raid Raptor? What are we calling this FTK? Just Therian FTK, I guess. It's like, it's the Burn FTK versus like the Hand Loop FTK, I guess. Either way, not a big fan. Not a big fan of the FTKs. It's pretty toxic. Exactly. My favorite part of the speed buff is the tagline they used for the new box. What was the tagline they used for the new box? Is it going to be way too far back? Destroy a Phoenix? Does it say it in here? No, it'll be in the game, won't it? Alas. Alas. But I don't know. This format is Therian, even when not FTKing, is still disgusting. It's still so good. They just do so many negates. But primarily, this is like a drag. This is like just the new best Dragluxian deck, right? Destiny Heroes is kind of a weird, like, Floodgate deck, I guess. It's like a deck that just spams Floodgates. It's very, yeah, skill drain like Floodgate, able to pop a card in both players' fields, able to pop a card in the opponent's field. I don't know. Eldritch is like the other deck. But like, I don't know, man. I hate this. I hate all of this. We're just playing, like, we're playing Mischief of the Gnomes as like a Floodgate, at least in this version. We're playing Zombie World, which does make sense because it's a zombie deck. At the same time, it's still kind of toxic. Obviously, everyone's still playing the Sphere Modes and the Lava Golems, which, as any long-term viewers will know, I despise those cards. I despise them so much. Destruction is inevitable. That's so good. That's so good. This meta is cooked. Yeah, I was saying, I wanted to get into speed. I just spent all my speed gems going into this box because there were some decks in there that I was interested in. And now I'm like, do I even want to play on the ladder when I'm just going to get FTK'd, hand looped? I'm going to get a constant Sphere Mode and Lava Golem dropped on me, and that's just going to make me angry. People are going to flip like Power Sink Stone against me and shit, and I'm just going to be upset the entire time. I'm like, is that worth putting myself through? I'm like, probably not. I don't know, man. They knew. They knew. This was an old Eldritch build. You played different list for this meta. Okay, we'll take a quick look then. We'll just in the attempt of being somewhat accurate. Hey, look, it's Dwan. So we have what? Double Eldritch. We're playing Heavenly Prison, Sphere Mode, and the 2 Golems. We're playing 3DD Crow. This looks similar. Obviously, there are some fundamental differences in here. That one was a bit more zombie focused. This one's a bit more trap focused, I guess. Tyrant's Tirade. Effects of effect monsters that activate in the hand or on the field cannot be activated. We love the floodgates. Effect monsters in the hand cannot be activated. We got Samsara. I hate this card. I hate this card so much. I hate it. Quit speed, play Pokemon Champions. Listen, we're ready. We're ready for champions. I'm ready for champions. I'm so ready. Hopefully, Pokemon Champions is good. Hopefully. I don't want to like sing its praises too much before it's even out. We will see. Then obviously all of these did badly. The one other deck down here, we'll give a shout out to the Dinos, because Dinos did okay in a single event. But I think this was like very, very early on into the format. I don't think Dinos is going to be like an actual strong competitive one. Champion Stream. So I have borrowed a capture card for Switch. I will be able to try and stream Pokemon Champions on Thursday. I will see how that goes. We will give the game a go. If the game seems very predatory, if we feel like trying to keep up with it is going to be too much effort, then we will, we'll course correct. We will evaluate and we'll see where we need to go from there. But I am planning to do a Thursday Pokemon Champion stream because there's not really much going on elsewhere. The only other thing I want to do right now is character duels. I want to do character duels. I'm kind of waiting for more Rush stuff to come out. There's not really much Rush stuff going on till the new product comes out. Outside of, like, the new Royal Rebel skill getting updated is really cool. But that's not going to be until the 9th anyway, which I suppose is actually the day. So it's kind of awkward. But I think I will probably still do a champion stream on Thursday. That is going to be the plan. That is going to be the plan. I only play Samsara in case I face some rogue decks that don't care about Tirade or Mind Drain. Again, Duan, I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you specifically. I don't like specific cards. I hate the fact that they're in the game and that people are allowed to play them. I will never begrudge the player for playing any card. If there is an advantage to be gained, as a player who is playing competitively and trying to win, you should be taking every advantage you can get. You should be playing every card that you can, and you should be trying to defeat your opponent in the most efficient way possible. Absolutely, 100%. But at the same time, I don't like that Konami has them in the game, right? That's what I look at it. So, like, I'll never begrudge the player, but I will always begrudge the deck. That's how I look at it. It's Pokemon, everything feels like effort. The difference is, if you have to... So, for example, I believe you're restricted to only having 30 Pokemon, which might be fine. That might just be okay. I'm not going to, again, speak on that too much until I've actually got my hands on the game. It requires how much time they want me to put in to keep relatively up to date with having enough VP that I can customize my Pokemon how I need to, right? Duel Links are so boring. Today, I'm trying out Champions 2. Pokemon fans can eat the same food for 10 years. It's fine. Exactly. I wouldn't imagine there's going to be like anything drastically different, but I'm at least going to play it. I've been a Pokemon fan since my youth. I've played through all of the games, or all of the mainline games. I haven't played through all the side games, but I've played through all of the mainline Pokemon games. I still enjoy them. Even the bad ones, I still enjoy them. One Piece fans are eating so good again. One Piece is in like a weird spot for me. I need to catch up. I need to like start watching One Piece at some point. But that's kind of it for speed. I guess we'll quickly go through the Rush OCG stuff before we get onto like the meat of the stream. So we're getting a new jump promo. Does anyone recognize this little guy? This is what? Parasicroid? Parasicroid? No, it's Parasicroid. If I remember correctly, this card could attack directly? Question mark? I don't really remember what it did. I remember in the show, he used like training wheels on it. It's a Cyber Dragon card? Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't really care, but maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. Like Roids is a weird one, especially to have your first Roid come into the game be Parasicroid, because logically, either this is going to be generic or it's made using 2 copies of Psychroid, right? Is Psychroid in Rush already? Are there any Roid cards in Rush? This is one of those things. I have a real blind spot when it comes to cards that nobody plays. So maybe it could be. So then we have this, new half decks from beginners events, which is interesting. So decks simple enough to teach someone with. New half decks designed to teach new players the very basics of the official card game and Rush Duel, and give them a deck they can take home with them, along with a bonus pack from Overstock and a card case. The Rush Duel set also comes with a common version of Seven's Robe Magician. Now, I would love a common Seven's Robe Magician. I think sounds so good. Playing Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Oh boy, Ghosts and Goblins. Now that is a blast from the past. That is a blast from the past. Could this hint at Rush-specific Roids? I mean, it could. In speed, it needs 2 machine-type monsters with the same name. Okay, so it's probably going to do the same then, I would imagine. 3 cards to get the kids hooked. So what do we have in here? None of that's us. None of that's us. None of that's us. Here's the Rush ones. All right. Guilford the Lightning, Guilford the Legend, Swift Gaia, Numbral Soldier Lady, Warrior of Zera, Masaki, Hero of the Yeast, Captain Guardian, Haratake, Cyber Tutu. This is shit. This is just awful. Like, this is so bad. Like, are they not giving them anything? Like, what in here is a, like, good card? Especially, like, you have to take this as, in the current metagame, how remotely playable is this? This is awful. Like, I'm not expecting this to be like, oh, it's going to be a 2-1 deck. But, like, if you took 2 of these and mashed them together, your deck would be, like, still absolutely dogshit here. Not even, like, remotely playable. At least give them, like, just a couple of staples. Like, nothing crazy, but give them, like, a legend. I don't know, man. This just seems awful. Seven's Robe Magician, Dark Sword Magician, Obsidian Magical Soldier. This is already a lot more playable. Light Sorcerer, Aero Sorcerer, Youth, Spark Hearts Girl. Meta card located. Meta card located. Bam, that's all we need. Pot of Greed? Why is this half deck so much better? Sparks! Another meta card. I mean, obviously, on their own, not very meta, but it's still funny that they're here. Magical Stream is actually, you know, kind of usable. Immediately, I'm like, this is just a lot better. And every new player getting a Pot of Greed is also really cool. Like, Galaxy, Oblivion, Voidveil Requiem. So this is like a Chaos Galaxy kind of list, I'm guessing. I don't think it's going to have any fusions at all. Secret Order, actually a good card. Meteor Charge is playable. Trap Hole as a legend trap as well. Is there no... Neither of these are legends, right? Or am I tripping? Is one of these a legend and I'm just a dumbass and I just like forgot? The anime currently is fire. The manga is fire too. The live action is doing great, and we just got season 3 date. The anime remake by Wit Studio soon. The card game going great. Cool Lego sets getting released, and now we even have the One Piece Lego Netflix series, which is weird, man. That's the decks, exactly. The decks look big, man. What's the difference? What's those difference of power level? Yeah, it's very strange. It's very, very strange Traveler, in my opinion. Very, very strange. But, you know, at the very least, it's neat that we have these. I think for me, personally, I would much rather play the Spellcaster one, but maybe that's just a me thing. Next up, Believe in the Beacon of Dragon Destroyer. So this is a new spell card. Beacon of Dragon Destroyer, normal spell card. During the turn you have not activated Beacon of Dragon Destroyer, special summon a warrior monster from the hand into face-up defense position. So the only way to get value out of this is to summon specifically a monster that requires 2 tributes. Not too many of them going around. Then if there is a face-up Buster Blader on your field, which ideally you summon Buster Blader, you can draw 2 cards. So this feels like a really high roll card. But if you're playing a deck that can turbo mill, and you could just get Buster Blader into the graveyard, you do have loads of ways to get Buster Blader back into your hand. So if you manage that, you just get a free Buster Blader onto the field and draw 2 is really nice. The issue is, how often is that actually going to happen? I don't know. On paper, my gut feeling is this is very win more. It's very high roll. But as long as you just get Buster Blader into the graveyard, resolving this should be quite easy. So I think it's going to be one of those things where in some games this is going to feel busted, in other games it's going to feel very mid. So we have the Sevens deck, the Go Rush deck, and the Stupid deck. Everyone loves the Stupid deck. What are you talking about? Alright, next up. Gladinus, the Flag Bearer of Victory. So this is our new prize card. So I mean, this is cool. This is what, a warrior? There's a beast warrior. This is a beast warrior. I'm not sure why man on horse is a beast warrior, outside of there is a beast and a warrior here. But regardless, new prize card is neat. Glorian Louche. With the sound of majestic hoof beats, he will tread through the afterglow to show the path to supremacy. It's neat. It's neat. Is there any card that treats itself as Buster Blader in graveyard? There's a card that treats itself as Buster Blader while on the field. I mean, this isn't going to be a complete database, but we might as well take a quick look. I could open EDO Pro, but I don't want to. So this one, yeah, Legendary is while it's in the graveyard. Who doles out victory is while in the graveyard. I keep forgetting as well. Getting these guys out would also do absolutely everything. No, the card's probably just good then. It's probably just good. Alright, moving on. Fresh Berry Collaboration. So, we have a new Berry Fresh cards, guys. First things first, I think this art is adorable. This is the Aqua Change of Heart retrain. And obviously this is one of the Fresh Berries. So level 5, 100 attack, 500 defense. During the turn this card was normal summon. Send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard. That's quite standard for Fresh Berries. They like to send cards from field to graveyard or hand. Choose one attack position card on your field and change it to face down defense position. If you sent a water aqua monster for this effect's requirement, then you could choose one face up level 10 or lower monster on the opponent's field and destroy it, except the maximum monster. For the rest of the turn, you cannot attack with monsters except aqua monsters. This is an interesting card. I think part of me is like, this is a little bit win more. Because if we have a ton of advantage, paying the cost is kind of irrelevant. And then we just get to, like, wipe our opponent out. So, like, I think it's a weird one. I think this is going to be a good addition. Obviously, the big issue it has is it's level 5. I think everyone can kind of identify that as the problem that this has. Which is a bit of a shame. But, you know, it is what it is. Moving on. Locate the whereabouts of Soul Flip. So this is the new trap card, right? So this is the artwork. Obviously, it's giving me, like, Cosmo Princess vibes. In that it's, like, you know, full art girl taking up a lot of the room. But when your opponent normal summons a level 4 or lower effect monster with 1400 or less defense, that's very specific, change that monster to face down defense position. If there are 3 or more different attributes among the monsters in your graveyard, you can take control of that face down defense position monster. It looks annoying. It looks annoying. It's an annoying trap card. I don't know how good it's going to be. I would have to, like, look at the current meta My gut tells me this would be pretty good, because I think this is quite good into a lot of the meta right now. Because a lot of the normal summons are going to meet those criteria. The art looks good. Yeah, I think the art looks good. Like, cool lantern. She looks fine. She's got like a stained glass window frame looking thing behind her. Or it could just be like an archway, but I think it wouldn't have all of this in the middle if it was just an archway. Hello, Cyclone. Welcome on in. Yeah, overall, maybe. Maybe. I'm going to give it a maybe. And then we get to the meat and potatoes. So this is simultaneously the most exciting and the most disappointing from these reveals. So, Rising of the Aurora revealed. The issue is it's only artworks. So this is like a tease. We get to see what some of the cards are going to be without actually knowing what they do. Hello, Whistling Bird. Welcome on in. So, this is interesting. This is our new card pack, which is looking pretty cool. Obviously, this is a Galactica Oblivion monster. So, well, actually, I guess it's, what's the card called? Heliacal Riser? Is that the card? Because this is definitely Heliacal Riser, right? Like, it's Heliacal Riser themed with, like, all the red. That's what it looks like to me anyway. But obviously, this is, like, Galaxy Wolf guy. We have... So, Vanishing... so it's Vanishing Heliacal Riser. So, it's Vanishing Solitus. We have Galactica Rising Oblivion. So, is this a fusion between Heliacal Riser and Oblivion? Okay. I like it. 3 to 4 days till effects likely. Featuring the legendary tour guide from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. From Duel Links! She's from Duel Links! So then we have this one. This is Resurrection Heliacal Riser. This is probably another fusion monster. It looks a little bit like Amnesia. But like Amnesia wouldn't fit into this deck at all, so I don't know. Galactica Fusion Space. This is the field spell that actually fused from hand, I think. Then we get the Rising Hero. So Rising Hero Argent R. What does the R stand for, do we think? Oh, we are in an ad break. So we'll just wait for that to tick away. Nine more seconds. Welcome back from the Adges, everyone that got hit with Adges. So, I think this art looks awesome, personally. I love the background. I love that it's Argent, who everyone should remember as that guy that always tries to get you a +2, but most of the time gets you a +0. And I think he looks cool with the shabby cape. I think it looks cool. Rising Hero, Argent Rising Hero. I love it. So this is Rising Unit. This is, what, probably a field spell? I would assume? I mean, whatever it is, it looks cool. Rising Hero Argent 0. Or O? Wait, is it going to spell something out? R and O? Hold. Rising Search. This is kind of goofy, if we're being completely honest. This is very goofy, but I kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Argent is tired of E-Hero. He's blaming him, and now he's ditching. A hero, so 2 more of those likely. H and E. Yeah, that would make sense. Rising Hero Argent H. I could see it. So then we get Clad Dragons. So, Stella the Clad Dragon Researcher. Again, I'm sure a lot of you guys will like this more than I will. I'm not... Aesthetically, the little girl archetypes don't do a lot for me. They're just not my desired aesthetic. I'm sure a lot of you guys will probably love this. So then we have Shana the Clad Dragon Researcher. So they're all researchers. That's their thing. They're Clad Dragon Researchers. Yep. So then we have Inferno Clad Dragon Flagel. So these don't share any names, right? This is Stella, this is Shana, and this is Flagel. So it looks like it's going to be a mix of awesome looking dragons and like little girls. More Argent. This is amazing. Made in Abyss in Rush. Holy. I want the news. No news. I love the big dragons, and also there is a tease for cards that we have these girls have turned into dragons. They are the dragons. No, because in Dragon Maid, when they become dragons, it's just their names, but anagrammed. And these aren't anagrams of their names, so it's not. I've decided that. That is my headcanon. Magic-clad dragon, Vezal the Star Eater. Oh, that art kind of goes hard. Oh, that looks so cool. Why is this in the little girl archetype? Wait, one of the little girls is in the artwork. She's down here cowering. Bro, this looks so cool, man. I love this art. Oh, here's another one. Loot from the Clad Dragondom. Okay. I don't really have anything to say about this. Like, do you reckon this could be like a ritual spell, and we're going into like ritual monsters, or do you think it's fusions, or some other mechanic? Are the two girls in the other dragon artwork as well? Can you have a quick peek in Discord? I posted the screenshot. Let's have a look. That's weird. I'll grab the art and chuck it over so people can see it. There you go. This is what has been sent. So like the arm is like transforming into that dragon, I guess. It's weird. So this is researching the Clad Dragondom, which is getting like an egg. And then we get the reporters. Oh boy. Here we go. Reporter time. The name choices for this theme are because the other cards for those decks have major localization changes, and I'm trying to remain consistent. So these are going to have weird names. Reporter, Recorder, Telerecroroid. Our first Roid card, guys. He's back. So this is just like a mech-ish version of Frankenstein as a reporter. Reporter Lilim Castellan. I'm sure this is a reference to another card, but I couldn't tell you what it was. Never thought Scoot gets more cards. I mean, I think Scoot getting more cards is fine. Like, he got a fusion monster. Rampaging Machine Headhorn. So his head is like earphones, and his tail is like an audio jack. I mean, that's cool, I guess. Here we go. Super Special Edition Machine Toughroid Flash Premium Printing Presser. So this looks like a fusion between Printing Presser and the level 5 Reporter. But obviously that's entirely speculation. And then here she is. She's back. Tour Guide of the Underworld. Earth Machine theme that works with the old Printing Press stuff. That is 100% a fusion. Yeah, that's what I would assume, right? Let me get Masig Angler or Nasangler. Yep, it's a... She's a fisher woman. I mean, the art looks good. Like, there's nothing wrong with this art. It sort of gives me, like, Cattle Healer vibes, if I'm being honest. Masig is German, and it's related language for moderate. So it's like moderate angler, I guess. Cat girl and an angler combined. Yeah, we can see like the cat teeth. And obviously the name has Niart in it. So I assume it's a cat. But she's also got like, she's got a tail. But it's a keychain. So does that mean she's not actually a cat girl? She's just like cat themed. I think she just likes cats. It's weird. It's weird. Alright, either way, that is all of those done. So now, it is time to move on to tier list. So, as we talked about earlier, our tier list was pretty much spot on. What else could we have moved around, really? Again, this could have been a bit lower. This could have been in Rogue. Other than that, I'm actually quite happy. Like, Jointech not getting a look in is a little bit surprising. I was expecting, like, at least one of these, but it is what it is, right? Hello, Tomato. How is thou? Hello, United. Welcome, welcome on in. Yeah, you've just missed us talking about the OCG stuff. We've just finished talking about OCG. We were just about to take a look at the tier list. So this is how things are currently looking. If we come down here, we can take a look. E-Hero, High Tech, Gradius, Noodles. Red Eyes Meteor. This is the biggest shocker for me. Red Eyes Meteor is just not performing, which is weird, because Red Eyes Meteor is still one of the strongest decks in the game, but either like people just aren't playing it, or people are just doing really bad with it. Maybe people are bricking, because that deck is still really good. Which makes it really difficult to like place this based on results. I think the obvious... It's... The first and most obvious thing to change, I think, is this is going up here. It's definitely going in tier 1. I don't know if it's going to be top of tier 1 or not in top of tier 1, but I don't know why people aren't playing Meteor. The deck is so good. I mean, maybe they just got bored of it. Like, who even knows? Who even knows? Even in the league, it's been the top performer. Why do you think people in tourneys are fully targeting with back row? I mean, you can fully target it with back row and it will still be in a winning matchup, is the thing. Like, when you do combos with Red Eyes, you can still put cards in your deck that deal with other... I guess, like, Hero would be the counter to that, in that, like, Hero can still kind of kill you through back row. But it depends on what it is, really. DRF Fatigue. The dragons are ugly, so people aren't playing it. I think a lot of people really like the Meteor Dragons. Either way, I think this definitely stays up here. I don't really know what to do with you. You're the tricky one for me. You're definitely like down here somewhere, but no one's playing it, which makes it really hard to gauge where it's actually fallen to. Logically, it can still do what it's always done. It's now just harder to do that. So I don't think it's like going to completely fall out of the tier list or anything silly like that. But I do think it has dropped down consistently because its consistency has been hit really badly. Most Red Eyes players use bad lists. I mean, a lot of them genuinely do. Like, people are still spamming Dragon Nails, even though I'm pretty much, at this point, sure Dragon Nails is not the best way to play that deck. People called me crazy when I said Dragon Nails is like, it's fine card for the deck. I don't think it's going to be the final meta version. And then it wasn't in the final meta version. All of the top lists were not playing Dragon Nails. So, but, you know, to this day, some people are still just playing the Dragon Nails. No way people are fatigued and tired of winning. Some people do. Some people just hate winning. I hate winning. You know, who wants to win all the time? Oh, it's exhausting. One copy can be enough. They're running Nails to counter V-Friends. Exactly. The Meta Menace V-Friend. I think we have to put V-Friends in Rogue now, at the very least. It has to be up here. Absolutely has to be. What are we doing with everything else? Where is everything else going? I think this happily goes over here. This might even drop down a bit. Like, do we think this is fair? Part of me likes this. I don't hate this, you know. Just that, like, quick shuffle. I think it depends a bit on the surrounding meta. I would say against Aqua, it was actually really good. What, Dragon Nails? Kinda. It depends though, right? Because Aqua... Dragon Nails is good against Aqua depending on the version they're playing. If they just have access to Abyss Soldier or TSA or Triple Threat Thunder, there are so many ways to just deal with it, but I don't think it matters too much. We went through this already when people refused to play Hero. That is exactly true. Like, Hero wasn't on a lot of people's radars. That when I put out my list and had Hero so high up, a lot of people were like, "What are you? Hero's not even being used in tournaments." And I was like, "It's still a really good deck, guys. You shouldn't sleep on Heroes." Nails seem pointless. Can stop you from having the one more card needed for OTK combo. Yeah, kind of. I've barely seen any Linker recently. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I still think Link is good, though. Maybe I'll drop it down slightly. Because we're not seeing it. It's not being seen very much in leagues. It's not in the league that we have. It's not really seeing much play in tournaments at the moment. It's just kind of fallen by the wayside, which is a little bit surprising. Okay, but Aqua isn't good anyway, so no one needs a tech for Aqua. And again, I don't even stand by it being super great into Aqua. I think it can be. I don't think it just, like, automatically is. I mean, to be honest, I'm actually just quite happy with how this looks as is. We'll still, like, double check it, but as a, like, initial impression, I'm quite happy with this. Is there anything in Rogue or High Rogue that we think needs to be going up or down? Because Noodles is in a weird spot where it's still kind of just a worse version of Red Eyes, really, but it's a really cool version. Noodles, I think, has an issue where it loses to more traps. Like, you could make an argument, play Noodles, because you can play level 9s, and that means you don't just lose to, like, the anti-level 8 traps. At the same time, you still get stopped by the level 8 traps. So it's like Galaxy is High Rogue. I'll tell you what, out of consideration, because of Dwan's efforts, I'm going to put this in High Rogue. Bottom of High Rogue. I'm going to put it right there. It's either here or here. It goes in one of these. I'm happy to put it here for now. I think that's cute. I like having that there. Music Princess Tier 3. So we were saying, Louise, I don't know how long you've been here. We were saying how it's hard to place it. Because we haven't really seen people play it much. Like, it just hasn't been seeing any play. Which makes it hard to gauge where it's going to go. I personally haven't tested it. So I'm going off of, like, vibe, basically. Rebel? Oh, yeah, Rebel isn't in here at all. Go on, then. You can go into Rogue. You can go with your little friend, V-friend. Your little V-friend. I do think Light Galaxy is decent. Light Galaxy had the issue where as soon as Shady came into the game, it felt like that was the end of Light Galaxy. Because people would just flip it down, and then you'd spend your entire hand to do this one play, and then you just died. In a similar way, it's what, like, Red Boot or High Tech feels very similar to this deck, where they're both doing a sort of similar game plan, except I would make the argument that the Light Galaxy deck is more versatile, but pulling off the OTK takes more effort. Whereas this deck is a lot less versatile, but pulling off the OTK requires a lot less effort, right? You still encounter Light Galaxy a lot. I personally don't run into it that much. And whenever I do, I absolutely, like, destroy it. So I don't know where I feel it goes, personally. I tried Music Princess a bit in case I wanted to suggest it for Deckforge, but nah, I couldn't, lol. So how bad do you think it is, Volt? Are we thinking, like, Tier 3? Are we thinking, like, High Rogue? Like, how bad do you think this deck is now? Because, like, on paper, you could still do a lot of the same stuff as you always could. It's just now a lot harder. And you can't do like a double Turbodiche play, you can't do a double action play, but it's not impossible to still make the same boards or still have the same sort of games as you would have before, right? For me, Aqua is between Tier 1 and Tier 2. You really think Aqua is here? After it's been like kind of underperforming a lot lately? I don't know. I don't know if I'd have it that high, personally. Aqua is a fraud deck. But I think it's going to be probably one of those decks that's divisive, right? It feels like we're getting a bit Marmitey. I think Music Princess is a high rogue right now. For me, Aqua is between Tier 1 and Tier 2. Best case, high rogue, but it's quite difficult to actually recommend it right now, so might even go lower. I'll tell you what, I'll put it here. Because I want Noodle to be top of high rogue because I am biased. I think that's fair. I think I'm allowed that. The ability to gain life points is huge. It is. But it has a really bad matchup into this deck and this deck. It has pretty good matchup against this deck. Again, depending on like how things go. But when it's really bad against the two best decks in the game, I think it's a little bit tricky. I will put Hero ahead, because I do think Hero has an okay matchup into the Red Eyes deck, so I am going to actually put that ahead of it, I think. I think that's going to be the decider for me. Currently, the best attribute is using traps, but the trap pool isn't good enough because of the current top tiers. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. think I'm happy with this. Like, maybe we could move, like, some of Rogue around. Like, maybe that could happen. I mean, this deck hasn't really done much of anything. I think this is a little bit better. This is probably goes up here. This maybe goes up here. Maybe we swap these two around. Something like that, maybe. Now, Red Eyes and Heroes are tough matches for Aqua. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm so ready to see how Monarchs stack up. Maybe they'll be fine, right? Right? Rebels will soon be top tier trust. I mean, hopefully they'll do well. I really hope Rebels do. I think Rebels is a really fun deck. The deck is genuinely really fun to play. And I think they were like, in their current form, pre-buff, I think the deck is still, like, it's almost there. Like, it's almost there. In the same way V-Friend is almost there, right? V-Friend did manage to get a top 100 finish because the deck can just pop off. And when it does, it feels really good. It's just it doesn't pop off all the time. I forgot Monarch exists. He's down here just hanging out. Just vibing. And these are just the other decks on here. I'm not planning to put any of them up here, but I will force a top 4. Oh boy. Rush deserves to suffer like us Speed Bros. I mean, Rush is in a good spot. Like, even Rush is in such a good spot that people are complaining about things that realistically you don't need to complain about. Like, we're in such a privileged position that we're like, oh man, heroes have been around for a long time. Whereas, like, the Speed Bros are like the entire format's on fire. Tier 0's going around. There's 2 FTKs. Everything's, like, falling apart for Speed Bros. We're over here, like, complaining that, like, man, heroes been around for a while. Right? It's like, it's... it feels so privileged. Right? It feels so privileged to be like, man, our format's in a weird spot. I think Rush is in a great spot, especially by comparison. And again, like I say, this is a good pie chart. I like this pie chart. This is a good pie chart. This is what I like to see. Now, I would like to see, obviously, more decks on here. But, again, we're still quite early. We're only 5 tournaments in. So, more will get added. And we're going to have the Royal Rebel update as well, which should be a good one. I'm sure it'll be fun. But, I suppose with that, since we've kind of come to the end of this tier list, so I think this is pretty much done, guys. I don't think we need to change anything else drastically on here. I wanted to talk about my experience in the Deckforge League Rush Survivor Cup. So, most of you probably know, because anyone watching the stream is probably a regular viewer, and at one point I did host a... Well, I did cast a match from that league. So the Rush Survivor Cup, to anyone that doesn't know, is a 8-team league. Now, what makes this league weird from a lot of the other leagues is everyone plays a best of 1, which means you show up with 4 players, and as soon as all of your players lose, so as soon as you get 4 losses, league match is over. And it's single elimination, so you are just out. Where that varies from other leagues is when we've had, for example, the Colosseum, for that, you send 3 players in each round, and each time you play a best of 3, and you do that 3 times. So you do like best of 3 of a best of 3. Right? So that way you try and eliminate as much variation as you can, and you try and get to the best players win. That is the logic. It doesn't always work out that way. That is the logic of how it works. Then we had the other league, the Dynasty League, which played like more like a traditional speed league, where you'd send in, what was it, 5 players, and each of those players could lose twice. So you needed to lose 10 times to get knocked out. And the attempt was to try and again... the less or the more duels you play, the less variance should affect it, right? That's the logic. This, so rather than having like a maximum of 9 games per player and a maximum of, I guess it could have been, logically you could have played all the way till 11 games in Dynasty. This league, which is, again, still ongoing, as soon as you played like 4 games, it was kind of done, right? So my personal experience was very awkward. In my first league match, I played against Sword from Team GF, and I was playing a deck that had a winning matchup. but we did lose the coin flip. So that's already not great. You don't really want to lose the coin flip. And then Yaden basically opened the most custom hand of all time. And I got beaten, but it was like, it was literally like he needed like the legend spell. We needed to not hit the correct back row, and we hit the back row. He used so many draw effects that had to land on exactly what he needed. And it was just like, okay, we're fine unless he does this. Okay, he did that. Okay, we're still fine as long as he doesn't draw this. Okay, he drew that. Okay, we're still completely fine as long as he doesn't have like his one-of. Okay, he has the one-of. It was that sort of situation, right? That was really rough. So I got to play one game. I played one turn of that duel. One turn. And then I was out for the week. Which feels bad. It feels really bad to get one, not even one duel, one turn, and then you're knocked out. That feels rough, right? Then on the following week, I was playing last instead of first. And I was playing against, oh, was it Isirius from Team Orion? And a similar thing happened. I open my hand. I lose the coin flip, so I have to go second. My opponent plays the whole hand out. My turn, I look at my hand. It's 1 monster, 4 spells. I can't do anything. I set 1 monster in defense. I set 3 back row, I pass, and I die. So I got to play, throughout this entire league, 2 turns. I got to play 2 turns in an entire league, which is insane. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous amount of playtime for my entire league experience, right? So, on one hand, that's sort of fine, right? We knew going into it that this was going to be a very casual league. The fewer games you play, the less competitive it is, right? We knew that going in. This was just for a bit of fun. I don't think the prize was anything like particularly exciting. So like winning wasn't the be-all end-all. The whole point of this was just, let's hang out with the teammates. Let's have a good time. We'll see how we do. We get a feel for the meta. Hunky-dory, right? That's all great. And to be fair, we did that. I think the pre-chat I had with my teammates was really, really fun. After the game's finished, we got to have a chat with the team again. It's just an excuse to hang out. We got to meet up. We watched each other play some character duels. We did a bit of deck building. We had a bit of fun. Just got to have a good time with my team, which is, in my opinion, the best thing about Rush is just the community aspect, getting to know people, having a good time. I think that is all net positive. I would have liked, however, to play more than 2 turns, if I'm being completely honest. I would have liked to play the game a little bit more, but it is what it is. It is fundamentally what it is, and because of the way that our team works, I was able to give a lot of input during my teammates' games. So although, you know, when my name is on the screen and I'm moving the cards around, I only got to play 2 turns. I got to, like, vicariously play through my teammates anyway, which was fun. Right? We get to have a bit of discussion. We have a little bit back and forth. We can work out the lines. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Character duels, I can't. Do you not like character duels, Vali? Like, do you genuinely not like them? Because I think character duels are fantastic. Brutal. A tomato spot on the team about to open. Now, it's one of those weird ones where, like, again, my whole team was there, and we were just like, well, we've bricked. Because that's the thing. When you're in a team scenario like that, it's not about the individual. It's about the team, right? So we bricked. I didn't brick, right? We lost. I didn't lose. We won. I didn't win, right? That's how we kind of do it. Character decks are neat. Yeah, I think the character duels are really good. I really like them personally. I don't know why Cyclone doesn't like them, which is a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame. By the way, is Badge still here? I don't know if Badge is still here. Badge wanted us to watch a replay, and I just figured now would be a good time to watch replay. But I don't know if Badge is still here or not. Character duels remind me of how things used to be, but there is no salad deck yet. Cyclone. We might get a salad deck in the future. I'm actually curious. Badge is here. Do you want us to watch your replay, Badge? If I do this, we should be able to hop in and watch Badge's replay. I want to watch a couple of replays. I don't really have any replays of my own to show you guys, but I would like to watch some replays if anyone's got any cool speed replays. Because I want to get a feel for how the format is in speed right now. I assume Badge wants us to watch a Rush replay, though. The first one. Okay, so we're going to watch Badge's Execute game against Red Eyes. So let's take a look. That Orion match from RPAV was really cursed in general. Yes. I mean, the very first game, we bricked on Dark Galaxy. But we also got really lucky. Because although United didn't, like, strictly speaking, brick against us, in the sense that he still was able to do a lot of plays, he didn't have exactly what he needed to kill us. And if he, at one point, it was like, if he had access, we'll just pause this quickly. If United had access to a way to get back multiple from the graveyard, and obviously Lord British, we were just dead, but we were like, we can't play around that. We don't have that luxury. So we just have to play like he's not going to do it, and then he didn't do it. So, like, we kind of got away with murder in that first game, but we also did brick on low levels, so we also couldn't do anything. So it was just both players bricking, which was really awkward. And then obviously we would have won on the high tech, but Iserius opened widespread, and it was the only thing that would have stopped us. So unfortunately, they just had the one-off, right? I was in a VC with Parko at the time, and he was saying how this game was terrible. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like, sometimes that happens. But it's one of those issues where if each of those games was a best of 3, or you had to lose twice to get knocked out, I think it would have alleviated some of the issues, because what are the chances you get 2 brick games in a row, right? It should be a little bit less. Now, sometimes that will just happen, and you know what? That kind of sucks. But at the same time, if you go in with the expectation of, okay, we're not in this hyper competitively, we're in this just to have like a good time, it doesn't sting as much, right? Whereas if you were playing for like $1,000 on the line, hyper competitive, we got to win every single game, then I'm going to try hard a bit more, right? That's how I feel about it anyway. It did me dirty. Can you watch my replays? Yeah, we can watch your replay after this, Valley. That's fine. I actually know nothing about what happened in Deckforge. I meant the replay. Oh, right, okay. Let's have a look. So you summoned Lumir. Heavens brings back Heavens. Activate Heaven's End. We're going to go ahead and send Lilius to the graveyard. We're going to contact Fuse into everyone's favorite Eternal Heaven. Set to pass. Not the tastiest turn 1, but we do get to flip a card down. Rising is going to come out. We are going to reveal. We're going to add the Meteor Flare Fusion. Meteor Flare Fusion is going to come down. We're going to go ahead and fuse into the Meteor Black Dragon. We're going to go ahead and get a pop. And then Execute Capture is going to flip that monster face down. So not a lot going on there. Overrush Storm is going to go ahead and tuck. We are going to go ahead and summon out Lilius. And we're also just going to summon out Great Maju Gazet, who is just here, I guess. I mean, this board is not exactly too impressive. We only have 1 back row. Secret Order is going to summon out the... That is a very unfortunate turn for the Red Eyes player. Alright, Flower is going to grab back Lilius. We're going to tribute out into Lumir. Shady is going to hit that. Why did we Shady that? Like, I kind of get it, but you always hold the Shady for the fusion. There is no reason to Shady that there. Okay. Pot of Greed's going to come down. Meteor Black Rising. So that's a +2. Secret Order's going to bring back the Red Eyes. Summon out... Why? Why? What is this Red Eyes player do? I don't want to be mean to this Red Eyes player, but he had Legendary Magician, so he could have used... I suppose, does he not have fusion access? That might be why. Because we could have just got this... If we got 3 cards in hand, what is in this hand that we've also left a spot open? If we have, like, Riding, I guess that's fine, because we want to keep a spot open. If it's not Riding, then we've left a spot open for no reason. Unless our hand is 3 spell traps or all high-level monsters. If it's high-level monsters, we should tribute over these, just to get our hand empty. You know, at least a little bit thinner. If it's full of spell traps, that's just really unlucky, because that's 2 turns of just covered in spell traps. Right, over a Storm. Shuffle 2 back, get rid of a back row. Scramble. Lilius comes down. We'll go ahead and contact Fuse again into Lumir Frontier. Lumir Frontier spin. Attack over. And still just nothing. Just a 2800 hit. Dragon's Chick adds back Drake. Tribute to summon out the Drake. That's getting hit with a 3rd capture. Curse is going to allow us to draw 2. Meteor Flare Fusion is going to come down. We're going to go ahead and fuse into the Meteor Black Dragon again. We're going to pop a back row, which then gets hit with Compulse. Legendary Magician is going to give us access to that Red Eyes again. What are we going to do from here? Tribute to summon out Meteor Dragon. So we know what the card in hand is. We special summon. We special summon Plorty. Trap Hole is going to be used on Flower. That's probably the best place to use it, realistically. We're still just unable to really break through anything here. Rocket Medic is going to get us back Flare Fusion. Meteor Flare Fusion is going to come down. Summon out Black Dragon. Pop the Defense Monster. Summon out Legendary Magician. Add back the Red Eyes Black Dragon again. Tribute it out. This is, like, so painful. This is, like, the biggest... Like, nothing is happening game of all time. Both players are just really struggling to do anything. Right, we have our direct attacker. Summon out Lilius. Okay, so we can get a good amount of damage in. Medic is going to be activated. Take that Meteor Flare Fusion. Okay, we're going to go for Swarm. Why are we going for Swarm? Are we out of, like... Do we have no way to get anything else back? I mean, maybe because we're out of... I don't know. Okay, let's just keep watching for now. Attack over the board. Beginning brings back end. Contact Fusion again. Are we going to go double Eternal? Is that the play here? Double Eternal would be really funny, but a really anticlimactic. Yep. Well, there is a double Eternal play. I mean, good job on winning. I feel like the Red Eyes player did not play that super well, to be fair. But that was an entertaining match nonetheless. Autocorrect done you there, mate. What did he say? Favorites on the Zexal characters. I completely missed that. I actually know nothing about what happened in Deckforge. I'm at the replay. Turn 8 and no one went under 5,000 life points. They haven't used skill to add Red Eyes. Wild. Absolutely wild. Was that against the Vagabond? That was definitely a real player. Get sacked, Brick Eyes. Do we not have you as a friend already, Cyclone? You might be a friend on our other account. That might be what it is. We might have to make room. Oh god. Who is Frick? Frick hasn't apparently been online in, like, ever. Carly Fan has been online a lot. I don't know why they're not showing us. Zaki Boys is dueling right now. I don't know who Frick is, so we might just get rid of Frick. Apparently their name is also Ho-Ho. I don't know who that is. Goodbye! Alright. So do 1, 6, 9. 8, 5, 6. 8, 1, 1. Search. 169. 856. 811. Am I not allowed to have these in? I mean, neither is working. 159. Okay. 0, 1. Now we just wait. I just get sack wins mostly. That's the way we want it. That's the way we always want it. We always just want a sack. Wanted to give a replay, but I have no cool replays. Oh no. Sag. I guess I didn't save any of the replays from my good Rebel tournament. That's a shame. That is a shame. If it isn't Hunter E.T., welcome on in, Hunter. How are you doing, my friend? I will say, Hunter, I have not watched the latest Vanguard, so I cannot tell you about that. Oh boy, this is cooked. Added against Evil Johnson. Vanguard. Who do you want us to watch? Evil Johnson. Okay, this is it. Here we go. Here we go. I wasn't going to say anything yet. I am in a really weird place with Vanguard right now, where part of me really likes the current season and part of me really doesn't like it. Whereas the previous season, I just liked the whole way. So, I hope you watched Peak Break. I have not watched the latest episode. I watched the finale from last week. I have not watched the latest episode. I'm one episode behind on Peak Break. Predator Practice adds Bufalicia. Bufalica. Droll and Lockbird. We'll go Chlamydia. Into Ambulance. Ambulance adds Biblisp. Get out Bufalicia. Go ahead and fuse into Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Activate the skill. Summon Dragostapelia. Run in. Droplet does keep us alive. Now, we'll use the skill to add Empress. Reveal Empress. Add Regulus. Add the Argeo system. Activate Charge. Discard draw 2. Regulus effect. We're going to summon out in defense. Empress effect. We're going to summon out in attack. Then we're going to overlay. I assume this is for Dragluxion. Number 90. Oh no, it is Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Therian stand up. Regulus is going to add Discoloseum, adds Duke. Add Reveal the Duke. Summon it, equipping Empress. Then I will overlay. I'll build the overlay network. Come forth, Divine Dragon Luxion. Dragostapelia's effect is going to go off. Photon Lord's going to try and stop that. Droplet is going to be activated to stop the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, which will stop Dragluxion's effect from happening. Then we're going to overlay on top of that into Full Armor Photon Dragon. Activate its effect. Predator Prime Fusion is going to be used in response. Out comes the Greedy Venom. Dragluxion's Graveyard effect. Or not Graveyard effect, just effect, I guess. We send 2 materials to cool on Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Galaxy Satellite effect, up to 10,700 attack. So that was a hand of nothing. We started the turn without cards. And then we did all of that and killed our opponent. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a 0-card combo, right? I don't have a good replay, but I can show you the Eldritch gameplay. There is basically no gameplay. I mean, yeah, we can watch a replay of the one. Is this the right account is the next question. I have a feeling this is not the right account. There's the other one. I assume we're just going to watch the only Eldritch game. No decks on this one. Ancient replay. Tofu Toad versus Dwan. You convinced me to never touch Speed Duel Links ever again. Well, Speed currently, Hunter, is in a Tier 0 format. Isn't that exciting? Alright, Sanctuary of the King's Treasure. This is the Eldritch skill. Eldritch skill. Shiranui style Samsara. Tiki Curse, Tiki Soul. Activate Tiki Curse, that gives us a body. Activate Tiki Soul, that gives us a body. Now I build the overlay network. 2XZ summon. Galad Granite. And then we can add Lord of the Heavenly Prison to hand using its effect. Okay, we'll go Conquistador. Lord of the Heavenly Prison is going to summon itself. We're going to go ahead and set the Tyrant Tirade. Everyone loves a good Floodgate. Does this just stop Therians from summoning themselves? Therian Battle Royale, reveal Duke. Add charge. Activate charge, I'm guessing. Discard draw 2. I didn't even think about stopping the Therians from using their inherent summons. I guess it's not inherent, right? It's a activated effect. That's so funny. That is so funny. Rush and character duels are enough for me. Character duels are absolutely fantastic, which makes the speed meta being as awkward as it is even funnier. Well, I think that's kind of it for the replays, unless anyone's got anything else they want to show us. But it just goes to show, I want to get into speed. But unfortunately, it's in like a not a great spot right now, right as I want it to. If you wait a bit, I do have another replay. What does that mean, Cyclone? Are you playing a game right now? Or have you got like a different account? Do you want to show us your current duel? Is that what's happening? We can see all of Mono's replays. I do like how a lot of these replays is just the nouvelle. He's cooking right now. Right, we'll come back to that then. But now, I did want to cover... Because we were, before everything crashed during our last stream, we were doing this. I did finish this tier list off because I didn't want to spend too much time on it. I will just quickly go over the stuff that changed. So first off, Robopi, love tier. So if anyone is unaware, this is just a Vrain's character tier list. Very quickly going to go through this. Robopi is the best character in Vrain's. If you disagree, you are wrong. You are just wrong. Robopi is the best character. He is lovely. We must protect him. He had a heart-wrenching character arc. He's great. Robopi, best character. Spectre, in my opinion, genuinely, I think is actually my third favorite character in all of Vrain's. I love all of his duels. I love his personality. I love his character. I love that he knows he is a creepy bastard and he just doesn't let that bother him. He's just like, this is who I am. I'm just going to play into it. His, like, extra linking was so good. Like, unironically, so good. And probably one of my favorite duels in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was him versus Lightning. Lightning is one of my favorite villains in all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I think Lightning is so good. And I adore him for that. We really spoke about, because we placed him in the tier last time, I thought I would mention it though. Windy is a weird one. I like Windy. I love Windy. I don't really like Windy's deck, which is a shock, because generally, if I like your deck, you're more likely to be in tier 1. That's just how my brain works. I don't really like Altergeist, though, so take that with a pinch of salt as well. I don't really like Windy's deck, but I like how, like, comically evil Windy is. I don't know, I really appreciate that from his character, because I absolutely just adore him. I did also put Earth into Light, because I do quite like Earth. We did move Girl up, because I do think I really like Girl a lot more than Angel. We put Queen in here, and then we put some of the other AI stuff down here. And that's basically, this is my tier list of characters. This is how I like them. I think, overall, I did really enjoy Vrain's. If I'm being honest, Vrain's is probably not in my top 3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Series of all time. I really liked Vrain's. I just don't think it's gonna break my top 3, if I'm being completely honest. That being said, some of these characters I'm gonna remember for a long, long time. A long, long time. Okay, first replay. Alright, we'll hop back over. We'll check out Cyclone's freshly cooked, freshly delivered replay against the other tier 2 decks. We have what? I guess the 2 best decks in the game going at it. Let's see if any of them are going to FTK the other. Asta Phoenix versus Asta Phoenix. Here we go. 11 win streak for Cyclone's opponent. The power of D. Oh, no, this is actually just a mirror match. Now, is one of these going to be FTK and one of them not? That is the big question. Barris is, I think, the FTK. Oh, no, if it's playing D-Force, then it's not the FTK, right? Alright, get Increase. Increase Summon Out. Vion. Oh, wait, we're playing Draw Hand? Okay, I didn't think you'd play D-Force in the FTK version, but maybe you just do. Cross Crusader effect. So we're just going to spin plates, basically. We're just going to empty our deck as much as we can. That's the primary strategy right now. We get the Liquid Soldier. We'll go ahead and link those off. Here comes Wonder Driver. Malicious effect. Summon out another Malicious. Activate Fusion Destiny. Send 2 more cards to the graveyard. Summon out Dominance. Activate D-Force. Adds the Plasma to hand. Only 5 cards in deck now. Summon out the Plasma. Activate Polymerization. Fuse into Adoration. Liquid Soldier's going to draw some cards. We're going to set a back row. Draw hand is going to be activated, drawing both players a card. Disturbance strategy, chain link to Droll and Lockbird. Our opponent loses their entire hand. They activate their skill. Yu-Gi-Oh! The skill adds D-Force from outside the deck. Ah, I see. That's the bit I was missing. I don't know, man. Speed is in a weird spot right now. Speed is in a really weird spot right now. I don't know how I feel about it. Alright. Well, like I said, this is my Vrain's character tier list. I'm sure that some people have vastly different opinions. I think the biggest shocker for a lot of people who didn't watch my watch-alongs is this. I think a lot of people are like, why is Playmaker down in meta? And that's because Playmaker sucks. Playmaker is my second least favorite main character. My second least favorite protagonist in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! The only character that I dislike more is Yuya. Not Yuya. Yeah, it is Yuya. Yuya. I'm trying to get them all confused because they're all Yus. Yuma is the only one I don't like more than him. What about I Not As A Human? I kind of combine them into one thing. I Not As A Human is fine, but he's basically just comic relief. Like, he's a funny character. But all my other favorite comic relief characters are all in like, so he'd probably be in like as well. Yeah, I like the show. For me, these 4 are probably the big standouts for me as being just like the best characters. These 2 are kind of take it or leave it. You could bump these down here and I would be fine with it. Like, these 4 stand out to me as just being ahead of the rest. I do like Soulburner quite a lot as well, and I do like Go. Moving on from that, we did already go over this Pokemon Champion stuff. This was kind of the important bit. But we do also have the release times for Pokemon Champions tomorrow. So it should be 5 AM for me, and that's tomorrow. Now, spoiler alert, guys. I'm not going to be streaming at 5 AM tomorrow. I'm not going to be streaming at all tomorrow. So my first foray into Champions will be whenever I have time tomorrow. So when I do stream it on Thursday, I will already have something set up. I will already played it. I will already have a first impression, I guess. But we'll see where that goes. We don't need that anymore. So this was another update that happened. So Cerebi update, the Pokemon Champions early download bonus has been enhanced if you play from April 8th through August 31st. Not only will you get a Dragonite, but you also get 100 quick coupons. This is just, you know, in the same way that in Duel Links, you get, like, login bonuses. This is, I guess, our, like, login bonus. If you play it during the first couple months, you get a Dragonite and quick coupons. Quick coupons, I believe, let you edit your stats. No, I think quick coupons let you refresh the shop, maybe? I can't remember exactly. Does it Mega Evolve? So, I believe you can get a Mega Stone for this if you do something. I can't remember what it was. There is something you can do in Pokemon Champions to get a Dragonite Mega Stone. It might be have something to do with Pokemon Home. It might be buy the starter kit. There's something you can do, and you'll get a easy to get Dragonite Stone. But I can't remember exactly what it was. So then there was this. So I don't know how relevant this is going to be, but this is a Twitter page that looks at the current VGC meta, and then is kind of gonna, I assume, give you win rate percentage data from Champions when it comes out. But I do think this is interesting to look at. Obviously, I don't think all of these Pokemon are going to be in Champions, but it kind of gives you a vibe of like, okay, maybe these are Pokemon that are worth going for. which I do think is pretty good. I do think Orworm is really cool. I do really like this Pokemon, so I might try and get one quite early. Swipe credit card. Exactly. It might be a swipe credit card moment. Pre-Champions VGC Mega Evolution usage data. So this is an interesting one. So the most used Mega is Charizard Y, which is probably because it has the ability to set sunny day. Like it has like the sunny terrain built in, which is pretty good. Then obviously we have Mega Gengar. This is what, Frostlass? I don't know. Mega Metagross is also interesting. I don't know why that's all the way up there, but interesting nonetheless. But anyway, I like, you know me, I spend my time making spreadsheets, right? So for me, this sort of information is fantastic. I love looking at all of this data. Premium yearly battle pass option is like $50, 55 euros. That's where the stone is. There you go then. There you go. I thought there was something you could do as like a free-to-play player to get it. By like transferring in something or something. I mean, I don't really know. I've been loosely paying attention to it, to be completely honest. Everywhere you go, you see his face. He's never going away. Never, ever, ever. Alright. One other thing I did want to do is, so we did this last year. This is the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Now, don't lie, guys. You guys are all weebs. You're all playing the weeb card game. You're playing probably like the third weebest card game that exists. So I know you're all weebs. You're all watching anime. We're going to have a look. We're going to have a look at some of these. So as is tradition, I'm going through this backwards. Because there's all these, and Anime of the Year is like the first one they want you to pick. So we're going to go through backwards. And we're going to see how this goes. So first things first, best voice artist performance. Ooh. So we have Alexis Tipton. This, Ray's from Chainsaw Man was really good. Really, really good. I haven't watched a lot of anime. Yeah, but if you're playing anime card game and playing anime video game, then you're still an anime fan. What can I say? You're still a weeb. Paul Castro Jr., let's go. I don't know. The Summer Hikaru Died it's a psychological horror. It's a weird show. I think it's a good show. But for me, I don't think he's going to win it for me. Morgan Berry is also really good. Shiori Fuyamura is really, really good. I think for me... for me, it's between these two. It's Alexis Tipton or Emmy Lowe. It's definitely one of these two for me. Hikari Died? Exactly. Oh, God. They're both so good. They're both so good. I'm going to vote with my heart. You want to make me sign in? That's fine. We don't need to actually sign in. We'll just leave it like this for now. So I'm going to go, for me, it's going to be this. And we'll go on to the next one. Best voice artist performance. So this is, what, Japanese voice? Renowned voice artists breathe additional life into character, adding depth and realism through their command of tone, the emotions their voices elicit. The talented artists help transform anime characters into anime icons. I think for me, it's going to be... I think it's got to be Mau Mau again. Mau Mau's really good. Leak the email. I mean, I could use my my business email to do that. What are these animes? They look ass. What do you mean? So this is the Apothecary Diaries, which is one of the best anime from last year. This is the Summer Hikaru Died, which is one of the best. So this is a mystery intrigue show, I suppose. This is psychological horror. This is shonen. This is probably more your speed, Cyclone. This is about people punching each other, so you'll probably like this one. You should know Chainsaw Man. This is another shonen, although it's a bit more in-depth than Hero Academy. This is One Piece. This is another shonen. So you should probably know all of these. These are all kind of Cyclone ones. I like horror. Horror is good, especially psychological horror. Alright, moving on. Best ending sequence. Now, this is troublesome for me because I don't really watch endings. So, with that in mind, I'm going to abstain and vote for none of these because I don't watch the endings. Luffy VO. Luffy VO is great, but he's not Mau Mau. I'm sorry, he's just not. Best opening sequence. Now, this is something I can do. I watch openings. Alright. Gachiaku is a good one. I haven't watched the second opening to Call of the Night. I'll tell you what. We're going to cheat. We're going to go watch it now. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains something. Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and look at... Christ, what was it called? Mirage. Call of the Night. Right, we're going to watch the opening. This is very artsy. And there's feet. I'm sure a lot of you were toning out. And then the feet showed up. And you guys are probably all back in. This is a really good opening. Like, this is genuinely a really good opening. There's so much style in this. Like, so much style. That was really good. That was really good. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to watch all of them. Screw it. So we'll go ahead and watch On the Way. Because this was probably, my gut feeling was On the Way was going to win. My gut feeling was this one was just going to win. Serena when feet appears. Exactly. Again, Dan to Dan is so good. It's so good. Oh. Ad break. Wait for the ads. Wait for the ads to go away. Creepy Nuts is so good for openings. I imagine. Dan Dan Season 2 was this year. Yep, Dan Dan Season 2 was indeed this year. That was the most chill Creepy Nuts opening. It was really, really good. Dan Dan's one of my favorites. I love Dan Dan. I personally, in my opinion, Dan Dan Season 1 had a better opening, in my opinion. But I still like this opening. Let's keep going. I do like the faster paced songs, but I have to admit, I am a bit of a sucker for that. Oh, I love this show so much, man. This show is so good. I don't want to, like, spoil it in case people haven't watched it and they're planning to, but this series went so hard. Like, it was so good. Oh, the band was so good as well. Here we go. As soon as that beat drops. So good, man. It's so good. It's so good. I watched it with Toti. Kept asking me for season 3. Season 3 is also going to go so hard. You know it's going to go so hard. I love it so much, man. All right, now it's time. I know Cyclone's going to be happy about this one. This is really hard. genuinely think all of these are really good. I tell you, we'll go back and watch Hugs from Getcha Kiata. Right, the music's pretty good. So, you guys might not know my my music taste. I like heavy metal and screamo quite a lot, so this is right up my alley. This is so in tone with the show as well. It's so unbelievably in tone with the show. This genuinely might be the hardest decision to make. Like, how do you pick which is the best out of these? They're all, like, 10 out of 10s. This is genuinely going to be so difficult. Alright. Let's go. The Revo, MHA. Is this just the opening? Final season opening, no credit though. I have not watched Witch Watch. I have just not watched the show at all. So, this is going to be my first introduction to the show in general. Looks very much like cute girls do cute things. This is a really good opening so far. The animation is really fluid. We're doing a lot of like fourth wall break. It looks like they've cranked the frame rate up. Yeah, it's at 60 frames per second. I was going to say, it looks really smooth. This has so much style. I'm not the biggest fan of the song. Like, it's a good song, but it's not my taste, right? But I cannot deny the animation, like, the style behind it is so unbelievably good. I know nothing about this. Not gonna lie, I never watched this anime. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. The visual song of Revo just isn't comparable to the others. I do like cute girls doing cute things. Oh, this is Witch Watch, very good manga. How the F do you know it's 60 frames per second? Well, first of all, I saw it, right? You look at it and you go, the animation is too smooth. But then, you know, it does also just say on the screen it's 60 frames per second. I'd vote for Witch Watch's opening. Good manga, Witch Watch. I genuinely think it's really hard. I think... Right. I'll tell you where my mind's at. The solo leveling opening was really good, but the song carried it so hard that I think the visuals didn't keep up. So I'm going to dock it a point for that. In a similar way, I think the song was really good, and the visuals were pretty good in Hero Academy, but again, it just wasn't at the same level as the rest. It's really hard to separate these four. These four are all so good. Like, I think both the song and the opening, like, animation were really good. I think I didn't like the song as much. Watch Me. But that doesn't mean it was bad, right? It just means it's not to my taste. I can still appreciate the song was good and the visuals were really, really good. Dan Da Dan is like, it's not fair. I'm very biased towards Dan Da Dan because I like the show. I think it's a really, really good show. Like, it's one of my favorite shows. So there's that. Mirage caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting this to be as good as it was, and it was genuinely fantastic. I really don't know. I really don't know what I'd vote for here. All of these are really good. I think if you were to put a gun to my head and tell me to pick one, I would pick Dan Da Dan. But I think I am biased towards that. So if I was trying to be objective, I don't know what I would pick. I really don't know what I'd pick. Dan Da Dan got my vote. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's really good. I don't know of these and Hugs seem the best for me. Hugs is good. It's got really good animation. I like all of them. I think all 4 of these are just 10 out of 10s. Like, straight up 10 out of 10s. Like, all absolutely fantastic. I think these 2 are a little bit weaker. That's how I look at it. I think for me, yeah, it's Dan Da Dan. It's Dan Da Dan for me. But if any of these won, I would be happy. I would be upset if one of these 2 wins. And part of me thinks the solo leveling fan base is so big, they're going to, like, force this to win. Which is kind of sad. Alright. Best score. What is... Outstanding scores enhance the viewing experience through memorable and evocative compositions. They elevate the emotional depth, dramatic tension, overall impact of a piece of work. The category describes exceptional soundtracks that effectively complement the narrative and visuals of the anime series or film, creating a rich auditory landscape that resonates with the viewers and contributes significantly to the film's artistic achievement. So this is not talking about openings and endings. This is talking about, like, background music. This is like the music that plays while you're watching the show. Oh, that is so hard. How do you pick one? How do you pick any of these? Like, this show has one of the best scores of any movie ever. Like, it is incredible. But Dan Da Dan Season 2, amazing music the whole way through. Demon Slayer always has bangers. Like, how do you pick any of these? Like, Solo Leveling is almost carried by the background music, the swelling, the hype building music. I actually think maybe Apothecary Diaries shouldn't be here. Because in my mind, I don't think of Apothecary Diaries as being good music. I think of it as being good characters, good plot, good story. Right? I don't think of it as good music. Solo Leveling, Sawano killed it in every single OST. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not Solo Leveling, especially because of Sawano. I genuinely don't know what I would pick out of these. My gut is saying Chainsaw Man. If I was to rank these based on gut feeling, it's, again, without, like, rewatching the whole show and trying to get a feel for it, it would be Chainsaw Man, then Solo Leveling, then Dan Da Dan, then Gachi Akuta, then Demon Slayer, then Apo Diaries. That would be my ranking. Dark Aria, Sorin, Reviver, Howl, just all 11 out of 10. Yeah, the music ones are too hard, man. Anime music is always fantastic. It's not fair. How am I supposed to pick? They're all so good. All right, moving on. We'll get stuck forever. Best anime song. Oh, God. All right. I'm sorry. We're watching more animes. We're watching more anime music. That's just what this VOD is going to get demonetized the fuck out of, but we're going to go for it. All right. In Bloom, Apo Diaries. Oh, it's the opening. I mean, it's good. It's really good. All right. Next up, Iris Out. I don't know what these songs are by name, so I'm going to kind of try and remember them as we go. So this is the opening for the movie, okay. Bro, they're all so good. They're all so good. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about this song because I watched this movie when it came out. This song is iconic, man. This song, it's not fair. I have to admit, I think this clears the Apothecary Diaring opening. This is just so good. I just don't think it compares. I think this is just so much better. I'm amazed that this actually wasn't one of the nominations for best opening, because the visuals here are incredible as well. Like, actually incredible visuals. Right, we don't need to finish that. It's incredible. It's peak. It's going to be hard to top that, but we're going to keep going. Right, Jane Doe. This is the special video. I suppose it doesn't really matter. All we need is the actual song. I want just the song. We get just the song, or are we not allowed that? Oh, it's the ending theme. This is how it's experienced in the show, so we'll listen to it with the voiceover. This reminds me of Dandadan. It's really good. I highly recommend Chainsaw Man. Highly recommend it. Alright, I'm going to stop it there. I already know that is not beating Iris Out. Right now, Iris Out is winning. Which one's on the way? I don't know them by name. Is the issue. Is this the one that we just watched earlier? Okay, so we already know that one is great. Oh, we've already listened to this one as well, and this is Watch Me. So we've already watched these three. It's one of these two. It's definitely one of these two. It's either Iris Out or Reawaker. Iris Out is so good, though. I like the second one. By the second one, do you mean Iris Out? Or do you mean the second Chainsaw Man one? Because I think it was good, but it's just not Iris Out. I'm sorry, it's just not Iris Out. I think I would go Iris Out here. Because it's really good. No. We're not gonna sit here and just keep listening to songs all day, okay? We're gonna finish this. We're gonna get through this. Must protect at all costs. All right. This is an easy one for me. This is easy. I know nothing about all these things I'm witnessing at all right now. Excellent, excellent. That's the way it should be. So, Anya. Anya always wins this award. Anya is the precious little girl that everyone must protect. But I'm sorry. Anya, you do not win this year. You probably will win this year because everyone loves you. But you're not getting my vote. For the love of God, we are not protecting Izuku Midoriya. I like him as a character. We do not need to protect him. It's whatever. I don't know who you are from the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. I haven't seen this show. I have no opinion. Mao Mao is one of my favorite anime characters of all time. If this was best character, would get my vote. You are not getting my vote, Mao Mao. I'm sorry. Suika. Anyone that has watched season, what was it, 2? Season 3? The latest season, because we have a brand new season here at the moment, of Dr. Stone, Suika's episode makes you feel things. It genuinely makes you just sad. It like tramples all over you. It is so unbelievably sad. And you get this feeling of, oh, I need to protect this girl. Oh, for me, that episode is one of the best episodes of Dr. Stone, straight up. Like, it's one of the best, I just think, anime episodes. But it only gets to do that because we're so deep into the show that we know all the characters, so we already have a level of attachment. But it's so good. It is so good. Suika is the most precious MVP. For me, Suika clears this so easily, so easily. Right now is the second part of the same season. Yeah, there you go, there you go. But for me, Suika wins this, hands down. And this is Takopi, which is an alien from Tapoki's Original Sin that keeps trying to grant people's wishes to make them happy and is actually just really creepy. No, it's Suika. It's always Suika. Next up, best supporting character. Engine. I mean, Engine's good. Gigi, if I'm being completely honest, Gigi is not my favourite character from Dandadan. I think he's alright. He's not up there for me. Jinshi. Jinshi's good. Jinshi is good. Again, really, this anime is the Mao Mao show. It is Mao Mao does absolutely everything. And everything else is kind of a bit secondary. Jinshi is fine. I don't have anything super positive to say about him. Turbo Granny is really funny. Is kind of used almost entirely for comedy. But really, really good. Lolan / Shisui, again, really, really good character. But it's the Mao Mao show. Realistically, Mao Mao steals the show in that. If Mao Mao was in this list, Mao Mao would win. She's not here. Then you get to Katsuki Bakugo. So, I personally don't think Hero Academy really needs many of these awards, if any. However, anyone who's watched the final season, Bakugo goes so hard. I am not a Bakugo enjoyer. In general, I don't think Bakugo is a particularly great character. What they do with him in the final season is so unbelievably shonen. It is hype. It is exciting. It is extraordinary. The animation of him using his quirk when he gets upgraded is so ridiculous. I usually would be shocked that I'm saying this. Bakugo clears this so hard. He is, without a doubt, the best supporting character out of these 6. I know about this guy, he sweats, right? Exactly. That is exactly who he is. But he, in that final season, he is elevated to, like, I feel like he is more of the main character than the main character. Like, it is insane what they do with this character. And I absolutely adore it because of that. Best main character. It's not you, mate. I'm sorry, it's not you. I like Momo and Okarun, but I don't think either of them would do... If this was a joint category of both Momo and Okarun, I would be like, okay, you maybe have a chance here. Individually, I don't think they stand up as much. I think the thing that makes both these characters good is their chemistry with each other. Put any of them in individually, I don't really care. Rudo is fine. I got nothing against Rudo. And I'm sorry to all you solo leveling fans out there. Sung Jin Woo is fine. He is a fine character. It is not Sung Jin Woo that makes solo leveling good. It is the world. It is the systems that are put in place. That is what makes solo leveling awesome. Sung Jin Woo is just the way that you do that you get that across to the character. The best character in here is Mao Mao. It is Mao Mao. Mao Mao is one of my favorite characters in all of anime. She is so endearing. She's funny. She's intelligent. She steals every scene that she is in because she should. She's the main character. She is almost perfect as an anime character. And for me, Mao Mao clears this so easily. So easily. Mao Mao is such a good character from such a good, underrated anime. Best slice of life. Now, this is going to be hard. I don't watch a lot of slice of life. Anne Shirley. I haven't watched this. Blue Box. I haven't watched this. City, the animation is incredible. This is going to be one of my frontrunners. But again, I haven't watched a lot of these, so it's not really fair. My Dress Up Darling. Again, not really my cup of tea. This is like a slice of life romance. I think a lot of these are. I think Blue Box is also a slice of life romance. Spy X Family. Again, I've watched this one, so I have feelings towards it. It's pretty good. And then The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Again, I haven't watched it. So I've watched these two. Probably Spy Family wins this. What is this, AB? Do you mean what is this about? Or... Because this is Best Slice of Life. It says it in the corner here. I think for me it's just Spy X Family. But again, I don't have enough information because I've watched all of these to give a well-rounded opinion on it. Best Drama. I don't think we need to look at all the rest of these guys. Apodiary... To be fair. Apodiary Season 2 is not as good as Season 1. It is not as good. Slice of Life. Yeah, Slice of Life. Slice of Life is in, like, you know, normal, down-to-earth life. If this was Season 1, I would have said this cleared. Season 2 is a bit weaker. A little bit weaker. Summer Hikaru Died. Very good psychological horror. A lot of drama. I don't really care about Takopi or Anne Shirley. Orb is really good, though. I think Orb might win this. If it's anime that starts with the summer, it's goated. If it's anime that starts with the summer. I don't know what you mean by that, Cyclone. But I think for me, Orb wins this. Orb is really, really good. If you haven't watched Orb, without me telling you anything about it, you should go watch Orb. I think you'll genuinely really enjoy it. Orb is on my list. I haven't watched it yet. I would recommend this. And go in with as little information as possible. I think it'll make it better. Right, best isekai. Now, this is my wheelhouse. I'm a dirty isekai viewer. I've watched all of these. Actually, that is a lie. I haven't watched Disney's Twisted Wonderland, which is now what Hikari does. Hikari is a Twisted Wonderland YouTuber now. So I should probably watch this. Campfire Cooking in Another World. This is a funny anime. It's like, it's good, but like it's not. I don't think it's going to win this. This is hilarious. From bureaucrat to villainess's dad. Dad's been reincarnated. I genuinely think this was such a fun anime. I really, really like it. I'm not going to lie. I love Konosuba. Konosuba Season 3 was kind of weak. Disney has an anime? Yes, Twisted Wonderland is basically a bunch of cute boys that all represent a Disney villain. And that is like its gimmick. And that's why Hikari likes it so much, because you know how much Hikari likes cute boys. So for me, I actually think ReZero Season 3 is so good. ReZero is so unbelievably good. So a lot of people dropped ReZero after either Season 1 or Season 2, because to be fair, ReZero starts and the main character is annoying, he's irritating, you feel like you're stuck in a loop because you literally are stuck in a loop, and a lot of people fell off the show. This show, when you get to Season 3, oh my god, everything falls into place. It is one of the best seasons of anime that I watched. It is so good. It is unbelievable. It has such a difficult staircase to climb to get to it. But once you get there, Season 3 is so unbelievably good, and I absolutely love it. One of my favorite anime seasons of all time. Subaru grows over time, same thing as Rudius from Mashoko. Yes. Absolutely. Both characters start as insufferable, and then once you get to know them, they are so unbelievably good. And this is such a good show. This is such a good show. I did like it, but I wanted something where he doesn't always die. I mean, his superpower is death, so unfortunately that is just what's going to happen. Best action. Ooh. I mean, Dan has the scene, right? I don't want to spoil it, but if you've seen it, you know the scene. It's pretty big. Gachicuta, I like Gachicuta, but Kaiju number 8 is something I didn't really vibe with either. In terms of raw action, I think for me, it's out of these three. If I'm being honest, I think in terms of action, it might not be One Piece. It might not be One Piece. One Piece's animation is like in a weird spot where it's not bad, but it's also not excellent. It's kind of in a weird middle ground where it's like, it's good, but it's not fantastic. That's kind of where I sit with One Piece. Whereas this is all action, hype, and aura. And this went so hard this season for the finale. It's so good. One Piece was way too good this year. So again, I am not up to date with One Piece. So I have to go with the clips I have seen. And a lot of the clips I have seen of One Piece, the animation's good, but it's not like insane good. It's like comparing it to, again, Hero Academy final season and Solo Leveling. It just doesn't compete with them. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. But again, I haven't watched all of it. So it could be I've just missed all the best bits. And that is something I'm willing to own up to, right? It could be that One Piece is better than both of these two. I need to catch up with One Piece. But for me, the Bakugo scenes in My Hero Academy final season, insane. The All Might scenes, absolutely insane. The action in those is ridiculously good. And the animation that goes with it is insanely good. And then, I mean, Solo Leveling is all hype, aura, and sick animation, right? That's the entire show. That is the entire premise the show is built off of. So the bit that I watched was, it was again, without trying to get into spoilers, because again, I'm behind on spoilers. It was, I think it was G5 versus Kizaru is what I watched. And I was like, this is good. It's really good. But it's not peak as like some of these other shows are, unfortunately. I think for me, I might give it to Hero Academy. Hero Academy's final season was really good. And it had really good action. Like, really good action. But Solo Leveling, I think could also just take it. I think it absolutely could. Alright, next up. Best comedy. Ooh, that's hard. It's City or Dandadan for me. Again, I haven't watched these two. I haven't watched Ranma. I've seen Spike's. For me, it's these two. I think I'd give it to City. AFO versus All Might, Bakugo versus All Might, Deku versus Shigaraki. Yeah, exactly. They were all so good. And again, I am not a Hero Academy glazer. I am not the kind of person that is just like, oh, I've been watching the show for years. I love it. It's the best thing ever. I've always thought Hero Academy was sort of fine. Like, it's okay. But the final season, they really did dial everything up to 11. It actually got insane. DDD, I never laugh. I miss all the jokes. I get the jokes. I think it's funny. It's like, it's more of a vibe, though. In terms of, like, laughing, City is funnier, right? Best romance. Now, again, I automatically default to Dandadan because I haven't watched the rest of these. So for me, it's Dandadan. DDD is funny, but City is just better comedy show. Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel at the very least. For me, I love Solo Leveling, but it had at most a single fight that could compete with One Piece this year, and it was versus Ant King. The thing is, it's not... The thing you have to remember is, it's not about individual fights, right? It's about the action overall, right? So even characters like moving around can be part of action. Like, action doesn't have to just be like a specific fight. I think One Piece is a shonen, so it is more likely to have sicker fight scenes. That is just naturally how it goes, right? You didn't watch Dress Up Darling? I did not watch Dress Up Darling. I'm a failure as an anime fan. Hello, Gunkin Suship Shari. Welcome, welcome. I did not watch it. Solo Leveling will be back. It will be back. Solo Leveling is a weird one, though. I feel like Solo Leveling deserves to win the Hype Aura Awards and, like, nothing else. It's really good, but, like, the show is so one-dimensional, I guess is the way to think of it. Best background art. Oh, how? I don't think anything can ever beat City here. How does anything clear City? Like, all of these have good background art. All of them do. But have you seen City's background art? Look at this background art. It's like, it's hyper stylized, but it is so detailed. And I love it so... Look at this. Look at this. At the very least, it might be like more of like a technical achievement that I like it for. But I think it looks so good. Like the background in the show. For me specifically, I think this is like one of the best shows in terms of like animation and background. I think it looks so good. Like it's so good. This looks like I'm looking at Where's Wally? Or Where's Waldo if you're American. Sort it out. Also had months of Kuma flashback with some of the best animation they've had yet. Pure emotion without fights. You really have to catch up. But again, it's like, it's not all animation. And it's not just fights. It's like somewhere in the middle. That's what you need to like evaluate it as. And it's like, it's awkward because it can be tricky. For me, City wins this. Like, when I think of these shows, this is the one that sticks out to me as having really good background art. Best Director. Okay, so I'm going to, instead of Best Director, because I don't know these directors, right? I'm going to go with which show do I think was directed the best? It's Dandadan. It's Dandadan. It is just Dandadan. This show is fantastic, and it's directed well, but for the most part, I think the manga is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. For this, I think the stuff that they do in Dandadan is not, like, it could not be translated from the page to the show, right? It needed a middleman to direct all of the different scenes. And I think this show has done the most going from manga to anime. But for me, Dandadan just wins this. Best character design. Ooh. This is hard. Is it hard? It might just be One Piece. I think it's just One Piece. I think One Piece has the most interesting characters. And it has the most diversity. If we exclude the fact that every female looks exactly the same. None of these stand out to me as having, like, really interesting character design. Alright, One Piece. One Piece wins. Best animation. Best animation full stop. Oh... That's so hard. One Piece character design. Have you seen what the women look like? Yeah, there's like two types of women. There is horrible proportions, and then there is the exact same copy-pasted body. But the men look cartoony. They look fantastic. This is really hard. Dandadan has really good animation. Gachigata has really good animation. The final season of Hero Academy had really good animation. One Piece has good animation. Solo Leveling has good animation. Alright, you put a gun to my head and tell me to pick one of these. Specifically for animation. Animation as a whole, I think I go Dandadan. Some of the stuff this show does is so good. But I think I go Dandadan here. Best original anime. Apocalypse Hotel, Digimon Beat Break, Lazarus, Mobile Suit Gundam, Moonrise, Zenshu. My heart says Beat Break, because it's the only one I'm actively watching. But Apocalypse Hotel is really good. I think it's probably Apocalypse Hotel. I think it's probably Apocalypse Hotel. Best new series. Ooh. Right, this is going to be weird. Clevitus is my favorite out of these shows. If you were to tell me to watch one of these shows, I would watch Clevitus. And Clevitus, I think, is highly... It's underestimated. Because... Obviously, it's only been nominated for one thing so far. But the animation in the show was so good. The story, I think, is good. But it has, like, some, like, weird issues. But in my opinion, I think this is the best new series out of all of these. So for me, it would be Clevitus. Best continuing series. Ooh. Again, this is impossible. Dan, One Piece, Solo Leveling, and Hero Academy are all here. I'm sorry, Spy X Family and Kaiju number 8, you are not in the running. I don't think I could judge One Piece fairly. Because I haven't... it's asking me to... Current, what is the best? It's one of these three. It's one of these three for me, because I can't vote on One Piece. Hero Academy is getting bonus points because it's ended now. So, like, that's getting, like, bonus points. Solo Leveling is really good. But I think Dan is a better show overall than Solo Leveling. So I think for me, it's Dan or Hero Academy. I don't think Dan Season 2 was as good as Season 1. But I might give this to Hero Academy. I genuinely might. It's tricky. It's tricky. Right, we're just going to go Film of the Year. I mean, for me, it's Chainsaw Man. It's Chainsaw Man. I'm sorry, Demon Slayer fans. You're not getting it. It's Chainsaw Man. If I was to do a second place, it would be really hard out of 100 Meters and Mononoke. These are both really, really good. For, like, very different reasons. But Chainsaw Man, for me, is, like, this is peak. I love this. Demon Slayer is, like, probably after that. It's probably, like, 4th. Anime of the Year. Right, last one. Last one, guys. Last one. Anime of the Year. What do we think? What do we think? Oh, it's so hard. Dan is great. It's only Season 2. If this was Season 1 as well, this would be really hard to beat. But just Season 2, I think it's a bit weaker than Season 1. Apothecary Diaries has exactly the same problem. Really great show. Really great characters. It's only Season 2. Season 2 is weaker than Season 1. The Summer Hikaru Died is really good. It is genuinely really good. I don't care about Takopi's Original Sin. I'm sorry you're not getting the vote from me. I don't think it's going to be Gachi Yuata either. I don't. There's no way. There's no way we're giving it to Hero Academy. There's no way. There's no way we're giving it to Hero Academy. I think it's Hero Academy, guys. I think it's Hero Academy. There's no way it's Hero Academy. I really think this is the best season of Hero Academy. And these are not the strongest seasons of these two. And I just don't think any of these three are strong enough. Is it actually Hero Academy? That's wild. There's no way my anime of the year is Hero Academy. I refuse to accept that. There's no way. There's no way it is. It's their final season that then come out with a bang. I mean, literally in Bakugo's case. It's... Oh, man. It's... I think it is. I think my anime of the year is Hero Academy, the final season. Again, if it was the whole anime, the entire thing, it wouldn't, Hero Academia would not be on my, like, I don't even think it's in my top 10 anime of all time, right? But this season was genuinely really good. Like, it was just good. It's the last season? Yeah, it's the very, very, very final season. Very, very last one. I think it is. I think it's that. I think Hero Academy has won my anime of the year. And just like that, we've come to the end of the stream. That took a little bit longer than I thought it would. That's just the way it goes. So, thank you guys for hanging out. It's been fun. Obviously, this was a lot of yapping. We did the tier list. We did a lot of talking. A lot of just getting through stuff. But I will be back tomorrow. Because tomorrow, guys, we're going to start the Zexal Watch-Along. So we're back tomorrow in the evening. So probably like, what will it be? Like 28 hours from now, we'll be doing the Zexal Watch-Along. Which will be a fun time, hopefully. Then on Thursday, we're going to be doing Pokemon Champions. That is the plan. We're going to be doing Pokemon Champion stream. I'm excited to do a Pokemon Champion stream. Hopefully, it won't be awful. We will have to wait and see. Beyond that, on Sunday, should be the next part of Sacred Cards, because Sunday is a variety day. That is the plan. That is the plan. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for hanging out. Isla, it's always a pleasure. God, fuck, I hate Zexal, but I like my stream. I mean, I've not watched it. So we're going to see. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. If I genuinely don't like it, I might not do the watch-alongs. Right? We might just stop doing the watch-alongs. But for now, we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Tomorrow starts the 6 months journey through Zexal. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We will see how things go. But thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.